The Thunder Bay Main Lighthouse welcomes thousands of ships every year, but this week the light shines for and shines on the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. It's a competition that we gather for once a year, an event that brings the country's best together, a tournament that has brought us unforgettable moments. We've returned to Thunder Bay, 18 teams with hopes of becoming a national champion. There's no doubt that one will be the crowd favorite, but it's another that will enter Fort Williams Gardens as the team to beat. Rachel Holman is going to win a fourth Canadian championship. They were perfect last year in Calgary. So will that dynasty continue? Can anyone topple the Holman Empire? The time has come. The 2025 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, next. Thunder Bay likes to think of itself as the curling center of Canada, and this week it certainly is, as it hosts the 65th edition of the Canadian Women's Curling Championship. And as we come in the Fort William Gardens, isn't it appropriate that on this Valentine's Day we begin our first night of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Hello, Canada. So good to be back with you, to have the Canadian champion Joanne Courtney back. Cupid over here. We'll hear from Kathy Gauthier momentarily. Well, you couldn't stay off the ice. She got an offer to play with Carrie Anderson in November, and back you went.
Oh, it was so much fun, Vic, and really a thrill to be a part of that team. But I will tell you, I was quickly humbled, and as Russ knows, so much easier from the booth.
As in the past, 18 teams divided into two groups of 9. So let's take a look at the Group A, Pool A, and right at the top, number 1 in Canada, number 1 in the world, Rachel Holman.
Yeah, so this pool now only has 2 spots available because that Holman team is done and dusted. They're in, it's official. And I'm going to put Skurlik in there myself, too. In my humble opinion, she's so good. Kayla makes all the big ones at the right time. Great demeanor. That's 2 spots. So now the problem becomes you've got Sturmey, you got Brown, you got McCarville, you got Martin. It's a photo finish for all 4 of them.
And the key is this game tonight, for example, like when you've got Northern Ontario against Saskatchewan, you're going to drop one right away, and you might be able to afford 2 or 3, so you'll be in the hole very early. On Pool B, right at the top, there's the team you played with, Carrie Anderson, who went through so much this past year.
That's right, Vic. So much turmoil infiltrated their lineup, though. I was so impressed with Carrie's leadership. And you know what? I love that they have Carly Burgess on this team now. That consistency will pay dividends for them. Number 2 here for me is Christina Black, Nova Scotia's best team, in my opinion, since Colleen Jones, with Jill Brothers at 3rd. They're number 4 in Canada, best season they've had so far. When it comes down to the 3rd spot, Caitlin Laws, Kate Cameron, Daniel Inglis, Laurie St. George, all teams with lots of talent. Consistency has been the struggle. It'll be whoever figures it out this week.
So our game to get it going, we know there's going to be all kinds of pressure on Northern Ontario as they do play Saskatchewan. And Northern Ontario, Kristen McCarville said she never faced the kind of pressure she did just to get here. So now how is she going to handle all of this?
You watch them at the Scotties, they usually play pretty loose, but they were so afraid to lose that provincials. We're dying for a chance to come back here to Thunder Bay and have that chance. They were in their last round robin game. They lose this game, they're out of the Bondsfield. She has to make this thin little double, stick her shooter for 4, and to get the win. She cannot be standing on her head all week like that. They need to get Andrea Kelly going. Phenomenal skip in her own right for New Brunswick. That's going to be the key.
Then there's a Nancy Martin. Everybody smiles for Nancy. He loves the game. Skipping for the first time as a Saskatchewan champion, loves the mixed doubles game, so she brings a lot of that, lots of rocks in play.
Unbelievable amount of curling, 8 spiels with the women's team, 9 in the mixed doubles. That influences Nancy's strategy. It's all about draws. They didn't blank an end in the provincial final, not one with hammer, so that's probably the way to go against McCarville, because McCarville's more defensive. Put some pressure on her and put it on early.
Yeah, she said, I love them in, and even against the best teams, even against Holman, she wants rocks in play. Saskatchewan, Northern Ontario, Valentine's Day.
want to be playing here, you know, at our club in our city. This is something we've been, again, dreaming about since, you know, a few years ago when we were allowed to have some family and friends come in, and I think there was about 400 people in the building that were allowed, and the atmosphere and the noise level was unbelievable. And so I just think about this year and how that's going to be, and I'm really excited to hear it and just hear those cheers and, you know, just get to experience that.
You remember handing them a paper ticket? Don't do that anymore as fans make their way into the Fort William Gardens, and we say good evening to Kathy.
Well, Team Canada, Rachel Homan looking for another win for her team. This has been a dominant performance, but she starts against PEI's Jane DiCarlo. Very tough opener for the Islanders. Kayla Skurlik from Alberta, after a tough provincial loss last year, rebounded, won the province. She takes on Melissa Adams from New Brunswick. And finally, Corinne Brown, the most tired team here this week between planes and weather, just got here today, practiced, and now takes on Selena Sturmey, a team that got in on CTRS points.
And now it's time to meet the teams, and it's brought to you by Home Hardware. Here's how. The Saskatchewan champions are out of the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon, and they are skipped by Nancy Martin and backed up by Deanna Doig, Kadriana Lott, and Shaylin Stewart. Northern Ontario champions come from the club just in behind the arena, the Fort William Curling Club. 42-year-old Krista McCarville, ranked number 17 in Canada. She has Sipula, Lily, and Kelly to back her up. Game is on sheet A, and as McCarville has a last-minute discussion, she'll play the yellow rocks. Martin and Saskatchewan will play the red. And interestingly enough, that Saskatchewan has won the draw to the button, so Nancy has that early advantage, Joe. And I'm wondering, in fact, now wherever Northern Ontario goes with her first, if in fact she'll go to the middle and try to draw the play right away, Saskatchewan.
I would assume if we see this rock it's being called in the rings, that Nancy might go ahead and throw that guard. Obviously has her draw weight dialed in. That being said, it is her first Scotties, so she may want to settle in, just get to see some of those hit lines first.
Yeah, that's the interesting part here, isn't it? You know, like we know what Nancy's all about. It's just rocks all over the place. But do you do it in your very first end against the home team, the great McCarville, when you've never skipped before at the Scotties? It'd be interesting.
Now, she did say to us before the game, Kathy and I, that, you know, she's a believer of that old adage. Doesn't matter whether you lose by one or lose by 10. That's the way she's going to approach the game.
Well, she did say to you, Vic, because you were saying, well, maybe you wouldn't do that against Rachel Homan. And she said, well, you have to. So she's very aggressive from word go and will play that way against any team.
Key, though, as we've always said, you have to know when to bail, too, right? You know, there's going to be a point where you say, okay, I've had enough here. I've got to open things up. You'll have to leave yourself a shot.
Good throw. 10-2. Yeah. 10.
Time for the keys to the game, and we'll start with Northern Ontario.
Yeah, they're going to want to avoid rocks in deep. That will only play to Team Martin's advantage with such strong mixed doubles play, and they have to lean on that home ice advantage. That crowd will elevate their performance. When you play and you've got the crowd on your side, there's extra adrenaline, extra energy. It can only help Team McCarville.
Sipula will roll it to the top 12. Now the keys for Saskatchewan.
Well, again, we've kind of touched on it already, but find the feel for Nancy. If you're going to play as aggressive as I've seen her play her entire career, you're going to have to get all four on the same page in a big hurry, speed-wise, get that draw weight down. It's hard to do, draw number one. And the mixed doubles experience, incorporating that strategy again, it adds difficulty to McCarville. Yes, you can get burnt that way, but she just said it, whether it's Holm and McCarville, you have to go after them, put some pressure on them.
Keys to the game brought to you by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like Cashmere.
Hard curl. Yeah, get her over.
To your point here, Russ, we see the delayed corner to start the game. I thought maybe Nancy would want to let her team settle in, but that red one of McCarville's, their first, was kind of in the middle, so they played that hit and roll and just unfortunately slid into the rings here.
I love the delayed corner. You don't see it enough. You really don't. You only need one guard to get your two, and how many you're trying to get before the end starts anyways? Two, so it's a great call. They just slid it in a little deep.
Kendra Lilly in an 8th Scotties appearance.
Whoa. Clean. Yes. Ash. Hard.
Makes her home in Sudbury.
Whoa.
And she'll make the trip up for team training sessions, weekend training sessions. It's interesting, when we landed the other night here on the Wednesday night, the third, Andrea Kelly, was on our flight, and she was picked up right away, and they went off to Kakabeka, not far from the curling club, not far from Thunder Bay, for a training session.
That night?
Yeah, that night, yeah.
That's good. Yep. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Kadriana Lott, who with her husband Colton are Canadian mixed champions of 24.
Good throw, Cage. Good job.
Again, that just plays into the weapons that Nancy wants to use, that mixed doubles experience. Even though that jammed, it was softly thrown and the shooter hung around, and McCarville, Northern Ontario, have to deal with it.
Yeah, these hits in the wings, first end of the first game of the Bonspiel, they can be so challenging. You don't get to throw every single spot in the ice in the pre-event practice, so could get a rollout here, and then there's your blank for Saskatchewan.
A little easy, I think. Easy.
The 4 sheets in play, of course, and Kathy will keep us updated on the others. Oh, this is a struggle now just to hold this now, because they go after that stone just on the edge of the 12, and they do. So great brush to save it for Kendra Lilly.
Good sweep. 9-9. How
I
was that
picked
out of
on this
hand?
team because they're so good. Their technique's so fantastic through the lineup for Northern Ontario that sometimes they'll overthrow that type of shot. And both the Kendras were softly thrown, had to be brushed coast to coast.
Oh. Starting with this. Whoa. 9-5. Whoa. 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 Close. Has to curl. Curl. Okay, that's good. Good throw, Cage. 9-5.
Okay.
Happy to stay right there, I would think, Joanne.
Yeah, I think the call might have been to try to roll towards the other yellow rock and get them a little grouped, maybe have a chance at a double. But the key there is you just can't roll out. Never like giving the opposition a free draw in the first end.
No kidding.
So Andrea Kelly is the import out of Fredericton. 10 times she was the New Brunswick champion.
Read up. Like 10-5, yeah. 10.5. Okay.
A bronze medalist she was,
I'm like, I don't know about that.
losing to Carrie Anderson.
I figured Andrea was
In fact,
right.
it was here
That's right here.
in Thunder Bay, and then, of course, hooking up with McCarville after that.
Andrea's been a brilliant player in her entire career.
Curl.
But at this level, she's just always, she wasn't always out of New Brunswick able to ice 4 players that could compete with some of these top teams.
8-9.
And it'll hang on the edge.
I had 9-4 on hers. 8-9. Was I wide? Big. Was I wide?
It's just an 8-9, she said. I think it was a good throw.
This team also played in the bubble of 21 in Calgary, and for Saskatchewan, they were selected by Curling Saskatchewan to play in that 21. So Yet Martin and Shaylin, who were part of that bubble team.
Good. 9-8.
I love the weight I'm seeing early out of Northern Ontario. Again, they used to throw like maybe 9 seconds on a lot of those hits.
9-8.
They've softened it up quite a bit.
Yeah, really well controlled. There's been a few they've had to lean on, but they've managed to keep them straight. So that's that sweeping weight. You want to never give the rock away. Not take so much ice that you're flashing when you let it go with those lighter weights, but able to hold it on the street.
And you have to think that's a conscious decision, Russ. When we talked about Rick Lang, previously saying, well, they don't travel by choice, which we know, but then you also don't play on a lot of arena ice. And so they've had sheets that are replicating arena ice, because this is definitely less than we've ever seen them throw.
Oh, for sure, Kath. You see it right away, don't you? And we see way too much of some of these teams, so it's easy to pick on them. And that was always my pet peeve, is they just threw it too hard on some of those simpler shots that you roll out once in a while, and as Joanne says, the other team sinks one, and then you're in trouble.
9-8, 9-10.
So here she is, Krista McCarville, and boy, we talked about the pressure. She has been the face of this event since it was announced that we were coming back to Thunder Bay, and she said as much. Now, can she hang this on the edge? And no, there goes the chance. So her team played well in front of her, and now she misses that opportunity. But she felt that pressure, of course, wanting to be here as the face of the game, and came through a very difficult provincials.
Just a hair heavier than Andrea, just like we talked about
Strange,
it.
because yours kind of came back.
I thought mine were probably a little more clean than yours.
Was mine too poppy?
I didn't think it was too poppy, honestly, but I just think that was the difference.
Yeah.
So, and in that spot.
Yeah.
Just a great exchange between Andrea and Krista there. It's such a subtle thing, that release. It's the last 2 feet of your delivery, but it can make such a difference on the trajectory of the rock. One a little bit back, so ran very straight. Andrea's just kind of on the line, and it came up a little more.
Firm.
Yep.
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 Hard cage.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Right to it. Right to it. Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Hard. Hard. Right to it. Okay.
So what looked as a possible force for Northern Ontario, they missed that opportunity. We're looking at a blank now as Krista McCarville. We told you that coming through in that final round robin game, made that score of 4 with an angled double. And then she came back after being down against Emma Artichuk to win 6-5. So 2 key wins for her to qualify and get to her 12th Scotties. 2-time silver medalist. In 16, she lost the championship to Chelsea Carey, and then, of course, here in 22.
Nice. Have a look. I thought it was close.
She lost in
Maybe a little
the
tighter center. Line's good.
Curling
Ready,
hard
ready.
now.
There it
final
goes.
to Carrie Anderson.
All the way hard, guys. Hard.
Hard.
Really hard.
Hard.
Gonna want to make her throw it, and she will not. So 2 missed shots early here for
I knew I wanted to
the
see
skip,
that
Krista
camera.
McCarville.
Less than Ashley.
And now you've got Nancy Martin, her first Scotties as a skip. Mentioned, of course, she was in the event in the bubble, and came through against Jolene Campbell, and lots of rocks in play. Beat Jolene twice, a former Saskatchewan champion. Saskatchewan has won the Canadian Women's Championship 11 times. The last time was 2011, and Amber Hall.
Who's here?
Really good throw. That was really nice throw. Yeah, that. Straight up. Yeah.
Didn't look like we'd have a blank, but we do in this first on a Friday night in Thunder Bay.
The 2025 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Scotties, Canada's #1 facial tissue brand. By Home Hardware, here's how. By PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada. And by BKT Tires, growing together.
It's great to be back with you. It's going to be a busy time for all of us as we welcome you to Thunder Bay on this opening night of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. We'll be on to the Briar from here in Kelowna, the Women's World Championships in Korea, and then wind it up in Moose Jaw. When it's all said and done, the first week of April and the World Men's. Our feature game is Saskatchewan and Nancy Martin from Saskatoon against Northern Ontario right here in Thunder Bay. Krista McCarville, we blank the first. Interestingly enough, I think you may have mentioned it, but Saskatchewan and Martin in their provincials never did blank an end when they did have the last rock.
That's unbelievable. And it proves to what we've been talking about so far is that's just the style. You know, you play mixed doubles. There's a couple stationary rocks to begin with. It's a race to the button. Draw, 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 draw. You rarely see a blank in mixed doubles. That would be history making. So Nancy is not used to doing what just happened. So kudos to Northern Ontario.
Yeah, it would have been a different end. They tried that delay corner and just slid into the ring. So there was no intention to blank, but they did take it when the opportunity came up.
Was ours on center?
No. Shoot.
Fight for.
Deanna Doigan
13-9.
couldn't get it around that center guard.
Would have been deep, yeah.
So there's lots to work with. And remember now, Saskatchewan does have the hammer. They have the last rock. Here in this second, playing the Redstones.
Saskatchewan's best chance, in my opinion, to win this game is to get after McCarville early. You saw a little bit of nerves from Chris on both her shots. And it, reading ice first draw. If you let this team, with the talent they have, get comfortable, it could be a long evening.
Close. I think we're real close. Line's good. Yep, for line. Yep, little. Yep, hard line.
Looked to me, Joanne, like Krista McCarville missed the path on her draw, on the free draw.
Yeah, I timed it as a 15-7, and it was halfway to the house. And I timed a few in the pregame practice. They were kind of 15s top post. So usually a second hog-to-hog is about 6 feet. So I think she just caught that inner line.
Yeah.
The 5 rock rule, of course. 10 ends, 38 minutes of thinking time. 1 60-second timeout. And you cannot move that stone if it is touching the center line until the 5th has been played.
Hard.
Yep.
Hard shake.
Yep.
Whoa.
Adriana Lott.
Whoa.
Ah, shoot. Sorry. Good throw. Great throw, Cage.
Put it back.
Or hit. You ever hit flop off that corner there?
That was 14-4.
So Saskatchewan doing a little chasing here in this second.
Shoot.
Those runbacks have become such an important part of the game with the 5 rock rule. As the second, as a third, you have to connect on those rocks in the rings. And that was a well-thrown rock from Kadriana, just actually overswept. They kept it too straight. They had to hit more of the rock that they were trying to run back.
Andrea, way tight.
Not
Andrea,
quite
tough.
Curl it. It's tight. You gotta
It's
curl it.
good.
Hard. Really gotta go. Hard. You gotta go. Right till the end. Hard.
Kelly
Right to the
and
end. Gotta go
Sipola
right till it stops. Hard, Andrea.
trying to drag it to that center line, and
Every inch keep going.
maybe just guard a little piece of both stones. 1 back 8, 1 back 4.
It didn't quite get the finish they wanted. You'll see that a lot, the race to the button for hammers straightens those spots out a little bit early. But it's certainly a usable rock, though.
Yeah, it's in a nice spot, but it kind of forces Saskatchewan to their strength, which is the touch weight, the soft taps. I don't want to put the pressure on more of those clearing shots if I'm Team McCarville.
No question.
Yep.
Yep.
More like half.
Shaylin Stewart. Got to sneak it by that center guard, though. This is going to be work. Here you go. Got it now. Can you get across and roll underneath? And they cannot. They'll sit there. T-line 4. Kathy Early scores, and we've got a couple for Team Canada. Steal it 2.
Well, and a lot of pressure on Veronica Main. In fact, the only reason it's 2 and not much more is because of a very nice draw Veronica made on her first. Rachel tapped up, and unfortunately, Veronica not able to hit and roll, and that gave the steal at 2 a blank for Alberta and New Brunswick. And in the BC game, Sturmey did have the opportunity to draw for 2 and came short.
Andrea Kelly
Whoa, close. Whoa, curl.
now trying to hook it over. There's Sipola. Can you get it now? Now roll it up. And yes, right underneath. It may now peeking a little bit. The intern side may be available now.
Yeah, just a bit, Vic, on that side.
That's a great effort, though. You wanted to overroll that if you're Team McCarville, because now you're forcing Saskatchewan to look at a different shot. If you underroll that there, you're giving them the same path they just threw. That was very well executed for early in this game.
Stay close.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa. Yes.
Stewart. Adriana Lott. We're going to run this back. Here we go. Got it. Got 1. Got 2. Want to touch them all. Get them all. And she does. Shaylin Stewart. Oh.
Very nice. That wasn't the easiest of triples.
Well, they've missed a couple line calls, and that one was absolutely perfect. Very impressive.
But look at that wall now of stones that are out in front, albeit all Saskatchewan stones, but something to get behind.
Wouldn't mind going.
It's running.
Kendra!
Don't want to.
Line's good.
We gotta go for weight.
Kendra's rock.
Wait.
Go, Kendra.
Not heavy.
You don't need to go.
Okay, well, line's great. Line's great. Line's great. Line's straight. Line's straight. Not too deep.
Get it there.
Oh, easy, 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 easy.
Here we go, and well judged. If it stays up high, it does. Just gliding into the top edge of the floor and in behind cover.
We were talking about it yesterday. What the players are getting so good. The ice is so great. They're running bands, the directional brushing. You wonder if you want a dead barrier rock anymore when there's a tight guard like this. There's a nice opportunity here for Saskatchewan. There's no reason why they can't stick this run back.
Yep. Roll it on. Okay. Oh.
I think they thought they'd missed it. They were trying to roll high side.
Just a little extra finish that they weren't expecting.
She didn't have contact.
You know, they're not whipping those run backs, Russ, so a little bit more manageable on the sweep, I think.
Like it. Yeah, no, for sure.
That's another mixed doubles move where someone's throwing a run back. They don't rip it down the sheet. They want to use that one sweeper. Sometimes it's the thrower jumping up to help sweep.
I think the mixed doubles has made a lot of curlers a lot better.
Great chance here for Krista to lock and draw weight. Not a ton of pressure on her. She's just been light. She was light in practice and even lighter in the first end.
It's the exact shot she threw in practice, wasn't it? So she should be able to get this one close.
Line's good, Kendra. Kendra, hard. Hard,
Kendra Lilly now will take that stone, trying to help it over.
Hard, Kendra.
Lilly on the right, Sipala left.
Hard. Straight. Hard, yes.
And another well thrown. Better stone for the skip, who was off on her first two in the first.
Even more rotation than I've seen this team throw before, too. Good throw. 15-1.
Yeah, you throw more rotation, especially in these conditions. Arena ice, it'll run a little bit straighter, but for the sweepers, you can carry that farther when it's spinning a bit more at the end. It just doesn't grab and go sideways like it does with less rotation.
Did you find as a brusher you could just judge it a little better, too?
Yeah, you just, sometimes with less rotation, it can grab a little more at the end as it's curling. That just runs more consistently with a little bit more spin.
Nancy Martin is the fifth difference Saskatchewan champion in the last 5 years. Forced again to another run back. Got this one too. Sure does. Look at the roll. Got that too. Oh, and it'll just pop now on that wide out turn side.
Almost.
So close to good.
Good toss. Should have stayed on her.
Yeah.
Again, just a little extra finish in that spot at the end. Really well executed. I mean, step one is make that run back.
He loves that. Oh, yeah. It finished hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kind of in those last 4 or 5 feet.
Well, that's what I saw at Shays.
Yeah.
I was like, how did it even?
Yeah.
I think 10.
Don't have to get too cute with that tight guard, because the last thing you want to do is feather that on the way in. Definitely room to roll here.
Think I need to keep it a hair firm, or
I don't think so. No.
First time out in the weeds.
Yeah.
Probably first one down this path for this hit.
Tempting to throw a hair more, isn't it?
Final stone for Krista McCarville. Look at it go now. Going to fight to get by that stone just outside the rings. Here we go. Try to sneak it. No, they will not. Oh, and did they raise it in to just catch the top? Is it going to be for 3?
Could be in about 20 seconds. The split's available.
Well, that one curled. I didn't expect that.
Did it go in?
Yeah, the call was hard out of the hands.
Yes.
You have to think either a little narrow or a little
Yeah.
careful on release.
Yeah.
The first end, it ran straight on her, so must have made an adjustment.
Yeah, it was good weight.
Was that, yeah?
Obviously, when you're used to throwing, maybe 9.5 or normal, now they've brought it down a second or so. You're going to get that little extra curl on the arena surface. I didn't hear the comment whether she was narrow or light or both, but
Even if we just tap in, that's
big chance here, boy.
Yeah, this path should be broken down from the pregame practice draw for Hammer. Just throw kind of a T-line backhouse weight.
Doesn't look like enough ice to high side it.
I think they're going across the
Across the,
here.
okay.
Great opportunity. Saskatchewan to put 3 on the board here in the second. Doig and Lott. Push and spin. Here we go, and there they are. 3, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan takes advantage of another miss as McCarville struggles here early. 3 go on the board on this opening night to the Scotties. It's nice to be back in Thunder Bay here at the Fort William Gardens. This building opened back in 1951. And of course, we were supposed to be here back in 21, but then the COVID hit. So everything was moved to the bubble in Calgary. We were here in 22, but then there was a strain of the virus that kept crowds away. But now everything is good again, and we're here and glad to be in Thunder Bay for this year's Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And our featured game is Saskatchewan against Northern Ontario. And Krista McCarville from the Fort William Curling Club, which is attached to the building just behind us here. And McCarville finds herself down by 3. And as we mentioned in the opening, you've got the 2 pools of 9. And 3 teams will advance. There's no tiebreaker. You'll do just on your record. So after tonight, whoever wins this game, if it finishes right now, Saskatchewan has a 1-game advantage. If they should wind up Saskatchewan Northern Ontario tied at the end of this, it would be Saskatchewan who advances.
It's such a short round robin. There's a very good chance of ties, so you have to win the right ones.
It's really crazy to think about that. The first game of a championship is a must-win game, but it's the reality of the format.
Good. Nice throw.
Yeah.
Little flop in. Does that help? Stay bumper. I think it would.
Just high right now.
Northern Ontario with Last Rock playing the Yellowstones here in the third.
So far it's early. Krista's going to get better, but she's been rusty for sure. When you look it down, they only played 4 events all season. Nancy Martin, Saskatchewan, 17. Nancy herself played. It's not a shock that Nancy started quicker.
No, and that's a skill in itself. You're in a new building. It's the first game of a Bondsfield. Nancy has had 17 repetitions of that. That's a huge advantage.
Okay, whoa.
Well, she's also played under a lot of stress because the focus for Nancy was with Steve Laycock trying to qualify as Canada's representative to mixed doubles. And so even when she's not playing with her women's team, she's out there grinding it all the time. So different strategies, different opportunities to play, different shots. It has to help.
And the other thing too, Kathy, is that you've got Shaylin Stewart, who is a paramedic in Brandon. So she's not there all the time. You've got Kadriana, who's the import, and she's in Gimli.
Yes.
They only played once as a full team. That was in November, prior to going to the provincials.
Wow.
So there's another, when you bring in these other players, as Northern Ontario has done, you just have to adapt to that.
It's similar. It's similar.
Comes down to training sessions on a weekend, for example.
Mm-hmm.
T-line.
Hey, you can be here, Shay.
No.
Has to curl though.
We keep this in the
Got it.
front half of the rings here.
We're all there.
Okay, whoa.
Yeah, sorry. You're right.
No, it's a little
Yeah,
roll.
there. Yeah.
Right, little roll. 10.5.
No, the scoreboard
5.5.
would make me think a softer weight here. You don't have to make this double. As a matter of fact, those rocks are both helping you. You could tap that a foot. You could roll behind a nice corner situation. Just manage your cue ball here. You have to be able to save this rock.
Kendra Lilly.
Yeah, this is almost a comfort call for us. There's
Yeah.
4 in the rings.
Yeah.
Krista's been
100%.
struggling a little bit, trying to find her feel, so trying to eliminate a few of the opposition stones. It's not wrong, but given the scoreboard, you're right.
Spilled that red into a really nice spot. I'm not sure Saskatchewan. I guess you can't see enough.
10-6. Okay.
Just enough.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, that rock rolls another 6 inches or
Oh, yeah.
3 inches even. It's much trickier for Team Saskatchewan.
Third stone's now in this third, and
Clean.
Saskatchewan Shaylin Stewart.
Clean. Whoa.
Little
See,
soft.
Whoa. Curl.
Got it.
She is originally from Yorkton, but makes her home now outside of Brandon. And it was her shot that really turned that second around and led to the 3.
Oh, was it ever? You know, you talk about Nancy's split for 3. That's what everybody would be talking about. But that was not even in the realm of possibility until this happened. Just perfect line call here at the back. Gets everyone just spilling enough. Not only makes the triple, takes away all the danger, but now you're on the offense with 3 rocks in a good spot for Saskatchewan.
Each shot is brought to you by BKT Tires, growing together. And again, something that we've talked so much, Joe, about over the course of time is that the stones are lively. Those bands, striking bands, are narrow. These are the same stones that were used at the Scotties last year in Calgary. So you don't have to overpower the stone. You'll still get the action. You'll still get the result if you hit it the right way.
Yeah, exactly. And they take their weight down a little bit on their run backs. Sometimes people throw it harder because if you make any contact, it'll spill easily. But they take that weight down so they can manage the line call with the sweep. And they did a great job there.
Well, a miss there as they can't suck it around on Andrea Kelly.
15-1.
Hear what they say here. My guess, because that was really
I don't mind
underthrown.
plugging in.
You're going right down the center where there's some fresh
Yeah,
pebble.
respect.
We like it.
I like that. I can see. I like
Okay,
that.
go, go, go. Quick,
Big
quick,
trouble
quick.
here now.
Let's go. Okay. So just
And this
like
is one
a
of those
3
situations.
here.
You're up 3.
Yeah.
So, but there's 3 guards in play. There's nothing you can clear off. And best defense is a good offense here for Nancy Martin.
Absolutely.
Okay, it's there right now.
We're locked
Different
right
path
now.
here.
You're just trying to block the port.
Yeah,
You're-
trying to
Yeah,
be half in the
she
12.
tapped a couple of spots, right? Just in front of the rings and then maybe out where those
Okay.
others are, yeah.
Good weight. Just a 2.
Hey, that's perfect. Clean. Off. Good. Great throw.
Atta girl.
Perfect.
Woo! My heart.
Okay, let's update the game between Team Canada and PEI, Kathy.
Well, and the weight for Team Holman has not been as sharp as we saw at the end of last year. Not yet, anyways. And so in this situation, Veronica Main, who throws the final stone for PEI, trying to play the run back on Rachel Stone. If she can roll her shooter a little bit, it will be for 2 and the tie.
Yes, yes, I turned that. Yes!
A year ago, as the champ from the Crapo Curling Club, second appearance for Jane DiCarlo, winless last year. And going against and scoring 2 against a team that went undefeated a year ago in Calgary.
Good throw.
Very nice.
That was dangerous. Kathy could have picked her own out of there.
Is this the same as her?
That's what I gave you. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Basically the same spot. Just leave it in front.
Yeah, maybe a little tighter because there's a good enough curl here. If you throw a 1 guard here, it's going to be chaseable. Probably 2.5. Get it close to the rings.
Similar spots what I just did, or a little tighter? I think so. I think you want to keep it like center line side, but cover most of it, right?
Think back, Joanne, in this end, we talked about McCarville playing a double, but not putting pressure on your opponent, and at some point dying down 3. They haven't had a hard shot since Saskatchewan in this end.
Line's good.
How's the curl?
Curl.
No.
Curl.
No. Just go, Kate.
Caught in this inner line again.
Just go, just go.
Yeah, keep going hard, girls. Hard.
Shaylin's second. They thought heavy out of her hand, and it was only a halfway guard, so just have not broken this path down quite yet.
Little more. Yeah, go. All the way, go.
A good effort all the way down.
New Brunswick against Alberta after they blanked the first.
And what a flip this end has been. Kayla Skurlik drew to lie 6 on her first. Melissa Adams managed to get by the guard and nestle a stone in that was lying second shot, and Kayla bounced off. This is a chance for 2 with a nose hit.
Adams and the team from the Capital Curling Club in Fredericton. The Alberta champions are from the Garrison Curling Club in Calgary, ranked number 3 in our country. Oh, and misses the opportunity there and has to settle for a single. Adams trying to win New Brunswick's second ever Canadian Women's Championship. It was way back in 1963. Mabel DeWare. And,
Bumper weight.
They going to roll to the corner or center?
I think they want the corner, but that's so precise, Russ.
Yeah. Better result, but it's that their own rock's kind of in the way for that.
boy, oh boy. Got to help it over now. Straighten it up, Lily. Yeah, no roll, and they'll sit there full in the 8. Shot rock for the moment. Well, they still standing, BC, as you mentioned. They had all kinds of travel trouble and only got here today.
Well, they did, but playing really well. Corinne Brown made a wonderful double on her first to lie 4. That is what Selena faced. She got rid of 2, but rolled out. And so this is find the paint for 3.
British Columbia champions from the Kamloops Curling Club. Sturmey in as the number 3 in CTRS points, the ranking system points, out of the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. And there they are for 3.
Looked like McCarville's trying to roll inside to the center line side, and Andrew didn't get them on the audible quite soon enough. Any more brushing, they could have rolled that over far enough that you'd never get it out. It's quite accessible now. As a matter of fact, Nancy's going to play the out turn.
I thought she might play the other turn. This is
looked easier.
That corner guard is in the line of sight for her here.
Yep. Close. Yep. Close. 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 Yes. No.
Get it through. They did.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
And they're good as they avoid the jam on that pile of stones. Back edge of the 8. And they are sitting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What a shot. That was so precise. Any wider, you're flirting with ticking the guard. Any more curl, it's jamming on the back reds. That was absolutely perfect. Well thrown, well anticipated by the line caller.
A really good leave, isn't it? Because now that rock's gone, so now you have to filter this little port. And it's the exact spot that Krista McCarville in the first end came up noticeably light.
It was a little back. Don't clip the guard.
Yeah, it was a little back.
Good news is Russ just needs full 8.
That's true.
Quite a big window to throw to here.
Let's make it.
Okay, line's
Line's good.
good.
Some early struggle, still looking to for the feel as the crowd now will get into it. Full 8 is what they need. And here we go, Sipple and Lilly. Yeah, sure enough. And they will drag it to the tee line, 4 foot for the single. That'll help settle some nerves. 3-1 Saskatchewan. The 2022 Scotties was here in Thunder Bay at the Fort Williams Gardens, and yes, those COVID concerns, there were protocols in place for the curlers, and the round-robin games were played with no fans here, but there was still support for one team in particular. And the final weekend, though, did bring some good news. Roughly 500 volunteers were allowed into the arena to cheer on the teams, and the one team was definitely a crowd favorite. The final saw the locals, Krista McCarville and Northern Ontario. However, they did drop the final to Carrie Anderson and Team Canada in 2022. And so here we are now, 3 years later, and thankfully all that has passed us by. And we're selling 50/50s and lots of souvenirs here at the Fort Williams Gardens. Welcome on this Valentine's Day to the opening draw of the Scotties, the 65th edition of the Canadian Women's Curling Championship that started back in 1961. We go to the fourth, and it's 3-1 Saskatchewan. And once again, Saskatchewan will have last rock. They have the hammer playing the Red Storm.
Probably 14-5 since we're wider.
Yeah, I think 14-5.
Here we go. Northern Ontario, we're trailing by 2 against a team that loves rocks and play, and now McCarville has no choice. She has to play that game too.
Yeah, absolutely. And Nancy won't back off. She'll just keep first one to 100.
You think so?
Yeah.
Got the wider.
Where are we?
I know.
T-line.
For T right now.
Yep.
It's coming
Line
down.
only. Okay, whoa.
Still
Close. Back 4. Okay, whoa, then. Whoa.
You're guessing 5-6 feet slower with that little extra broom.
Line's perfect. No, it's back 4. Okay.
14-1.
Okay.
And deep they will go. Side of the back edge of the 4.
Oh, I thought they were behind 2.
Easy mistake to make there, though, Russ. They've had a few in a new path come up significantly light, so just adjusted a little bit too far the other way.
Simplify the ends.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I just don't love ripping that, and then they do that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's
You
open.
can also get here.
Yeah, what would be wrong with putting another one in there, Russ?
Nothing really, other than, you know, one's out in front are there for a reason to complicate the end is when Nancy goes to throw. So with a couple point lead and hammer, it'd be tempting to clean that front off.
But at the same time, you've got the hammer, Joe, and isn't that a key to a complicated game, is knowing when to bait?
Yeah, and I would say scoreboard says seconds first rock might be a good idea to try to clear some things up.
I agree with you, but I also wonder if it's because Kadriana and Nancy play so much mixed. They're so used to 100 rocks in play and needing an inch to score. A lot of seconds would have called that call off and said, how about we hit?
Good point. They're not even allowed to hit it, are they?
Shoot, sorry. I think it just should have trusted it.
But they got to be careful here.
Honestly, I don't mind that call in a few more games once they know the trends, because Kadriana is such a great drawer. I've seen her just find the button in her sleep, but that's the first time she's gone out that wide, so it's harder to make those shots early.
I don't think you need to.
Now it's going to be third rock down the path, so carry the 1. Should be pretty close to up to speed.
Andrea.
Yeah.
Yep. Hard. Line's good. Hard.
Great carry if they can sneak it by. They do. And just not enough oomph as it'll come up short. But on the same token, they're closing down the scoring area for Saskatchewan.
Awfully good spot. That's a dangerous stone.
Yeah, easily promotable, but hard to remove because it's a little bit tucked behind that red at the top 12 foot.
9-5?
Yeah.
Nancy now has to work her way out of this mess.
They're running the red into those yellows?
Yeah, if they could ever make the yellow double, but I think it was onto the shot rock.
The problem too is your shooter's rolling off here and opening up shot rock, even if you make this.
Yeah, one way or the other, right?
Late licks now. Here we go. Stewart, and she'll just drive this by. Does open up the shot stone, however.
Try to get hair on the inside. Yep.
Is an absolute crucial end. Vic, we talked in the opening about McCarville's lack of play, a little rusty, a lot of pressure, and they've shown it. They really haven't played well at all. If you let them off the hook here, like with a steal, 3-2, they get their confidence to start to figure out the pass. As Joanne says, it makes it that much tougher. If Saskatchewan can grab a crooked number here, they can just about put the game away.
Yep. Hard line.
That's not heavy.
It's really light. We're light. Okay, yep, keep going. We're tight. Yep.
Lily left. Sipula
Hard, yes, hard.
is right on this
Hard,
first.
you gotta go. Hard, you gotta try and bounce
From
it off
Andrea
the yellow.
Kelly.
Hard, you gotta roll it, Ash. Gotta
dear.
roll it. Roll, 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 roll.
Trying to just maybe cover that shot rock a little bit.
Well, it's just like super slow. Can we put another one in, or do you like trying to like crotch double those two? That doesn't stop.
We have
this.
one in there.
Oh, I see 3.
You do. We see more, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Well,
We'll
yeah.
get you some glasses. But the 3 that
I see
counts.
3 red
Okay.
belonging to Canada. How's that?
There you are. That Yellowstone that you saw biting the 8 was Veronica's final stone, trying to get to the 4-foot, came short, and so that takes the out turn away from Rachel. So trying to play the in-turn tap on her own stone in the 12-foot to move it up for a shot. It would be for 4.
It's a lot.
Number 1 in Canada, number 1 in the world.
Yep. Hard, 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 hard.
And the little catch. There you go. That'll work for 4. And interestingly enough, last year at the Scotties in Calgary with Last Rock, she never scored a 4.
The whole week.
Yeah, the whole week, yeah. It's odd, isn't it? So you would think that would just be automatic. Shaylin Stewart.
Had a little bit of discussion for this one, maybe to try to open things up and play some sort of peel, but they're committed at this point. There isn't an easy double available to get out of jail, so trying to sit 2 here, get it under cover.
Needs to curl. It's going to set up that red double.
Oh, curl,
Here you go, Kate.
curl,
Here you go, Kadriana. Lot trying to help this over, and did they leave it now? Does it show enough to make the double?
I do not think so, unless it's a run back. There's the confidence that you're playing with rocks and play.
Yeah, like I have half of that yellow.
You can't get enough of that, huh?
No, they did a really good job making that finish at the end.
Where we guard? Oh, I don't like guarding.
Ooh. Gonna concede 2?
Yeah. You guys like that? No. I don't love that. We're gonna leave our.
This would make the most sense, in my opinion. If you ever make it perfect, it's not all that hard. You're here, and then you might be able to get at that one later.
Okay, so straight up.
They're talking about guarding and conceding a single. You can't do that down 2.
But conceding also on your last 3rd rock.
Yeah, I could maybe say
Yeah,
it on
true.
Krista's last. This
Yeah.
is way too early.
Right.
And especially with Nancy Martin. She's going to lob something in there somehow.
They are throwing the guard, aren't they? Wow.
Where? Gotta go. Gotta go. They are
Jeepers.
there.
Oh, I thought they would take on that angle bump.
Really hard. It's not over. Hard.
Oh, boy.
It's not over.
There are definitely draw weight concerns
Yep.
I'm going to put out there, not only in the feature game, but on every sheet. I just watched both BC and Alberta miss light and through the house. There's some struggles, and there's some patchiness and some spots.
How's the air temperature out there, Kath, where you are?
It's much warmer than
Yeah.
I'm used to. When we came in the building earlier today, it was very cold. And I don't know if they were anticipating the crowds and brought it down, but it is quite warm in here. And if it's warm in here it has to go on the ice, particularly given the roof is relatively flat.
I talked to Tom Leonard, the head ice tech here from Sudbury, at length, and he was happy with the floor, happy with the ice, happy with the deionization, happy with everything, but he wasn't happy with the air temperature. And I wonder if it's getting a little too warm.
Get it moving. Get it moving. You got it. You got it.
Shot.
Really
Very
good.
nice to sit the 2.
Might have made that pocket easier, but.
Yeah, there's Tom. Might open some doors. It's chilly outside.
To that point, he actually said it started off too cold this morning because of that, with all the things that are going on. Some of the doors were open for longer periods of time. It's very cold outside, but you wonder maybe they've oversteered it. And it does feel, air feels warmer than usual. Rocks can actually heat up if it gets very warm.
Yeah, back 12, yeah.
Boy, this could be a game saver, this one.
And we've seen some draws on this side. Sometimes when that patchiness hits, it gets really tough in a new path, but those paths that have been worn in within the end usually stay okay.
Yeah, so probably like back 8, rolling hit. And, yeah.
You could play the audible here thin. If you throw this heavy and you hit a quarter rock, hit the top red redirect.
All right, let's jump in live here as Alberta and Kayla Skurlik play New Brunswick and Melissa Adams. Kathy.
Well, the shot stone that belongs to Kayla Skurlik was her first. Went around a guard, and then when the run back wasn't made, guarded it in the house. So it is 2 that she faces. So this for Melissa is a draw to the Hearts.
And she needs a good piece of that button as we look at Krista McCarville and her first. Once again, Kendra Lilly. Nothing yet from that front end from the Capital Curling Club in Fredericton. And she'll miss on her side as she flashes, and this one will go back and deep, and it will be a steal of 2 there for Alberta.
Thought Melissa might have played the double, Kathy.
I did too, actually, because she had just thrown in that path to run her own back and miss, so she would have had a good sense of line.
I'm worried this one curls too much.
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Okay, so that tap.
So what do you do here, Joe? How greedy do you want to get? You're sitting 2. Do you guard or maybe tap something up to get a third one in there?
Yeah, I think you have to guard the shot that Krista McCarville just attempted. You don't want to give it to her twice. And if she makes it good, that's the steal out of nowhere. So guard this now. Might be able to angle tap her previous shot, that red one top 8 foot on her last.
No, I like the guard.
Yeah.
She doesn't have anything else.
Okay,
really.
that's your. Okay.
Yeah. Do you like this ice? This is edge of 4.
Yeah, I
You could go a hair less because you can really hold it, hey?
We also are curling them.
And
Yeah.
we're trying to get across.
I think this is perfect
Okay.
ice. Speed's good.
Brown and Sturmey 3-2, and what? It's Brown sitting the 1.
Yeah, this has been a really funny end. I mentioned it. The yellow guards that you saw, the corner guards, those were all attempted come-arounds onto the brown stone, and short and short.
Line's good.
So it has not been a well-executed end, and it has been trouble with draw weight. Corinne's trying to multiply the factor here and get 4 and get to the yellow stone that is about a third buried that belongs to Alberta. Tap it back. Big pain.
You have to really scare the guard to do it.
Does.
And we're not going to spill in enough. You're going to try to. And you get enough? You did. Look at that.
A great brushing.
Very good. The front end of Sarah Colton and Sam Fisher, BC champions out of Kamloops.
It was always an option, right?
Trying to win BC's first championship since 2006. And Kelly Scott.
Team Saskatchewan sunk that just over the Scotties logo there. Perfect a guard. It takes away that angle raise that Krista McCarville missed. So with that ice, it doesn't look like they're raising it. They just
No, they're guarding the shot for 3
giving
here
up
now.
2.
Yeah, could be.
Boy, that's not the shot you want to be playing. 2 down and you're guarding to give up 2 more. Gotta get a little sharper here.
Where are we? Gotta move.
Interesting. The majority of the guards have been throwing this game have been crossing center line, like inside out.
Yeah, they're trying for the corners.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'd see them throw it wide from the outside the 12-foot.
Yeah.
No one wants to go out there.
It's interesting.
Okay.
Oh, we left the hole.
There might be room here.
Somebody said they left the hole.
I went further, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yep.
Probably just this, hey?
Okay.
Yeah, you'd probably have to throw intern to get through the hole. Then you have to throw a lot of weight to get the red one, and you gotta be careful. You've already got your two.
Half, I think it is.
This
hey,
is a safer play.
Sorry? Try to get full 4.
Yeah.
Back.
There seems to be quite a bit of late finish.
The
The question is how hard you need to throw this out this wide. But we've seen a lot of late finish. As a sweeper, you're just thinking, try to put this on the tee line and switch once you know you can. Have the person going with the curl, take the rock.
Yep.
83% on her 3 draws so far.
Stay close though.
Nancy Martin.
It's running out there still, but don't have to.
It's dead.
Gone.
Okay.
And it's going to die out there.
It's just heavy out here.
And so it is 2.
Two red.
Saskatchewan will pick up 2 more here in the 4th. That crowd has been taken out of it here in Thunder Bay.
And then all of a sudden,
Well, a good crowd on hand here at the Fort William Gardens on this opening night of the Scotties, but not a lot to cheer for. As the hometown team, Krista McCarville, out of the Fort William Curling Club, trails it now 5-1 as we welcome you back. Just a little off their game on this opener of this year's Scotties. We go to the 5th, and McCarville will have last rock playing the Yellowstones.
A ton of missed draws from Team Northern Ontario so far. That's where Andrea came up light a couple times, crossing center line. You're into the 5th end. It should be fairly predictable by now.
Line's good. Tender's rock. Tender's rock. Lead's great. Yeah. Really curly. Don't need to. A little bit higher than
This is where, for Northern
You're
Ontario,
gonna have to stop. Whoa,
all of
whoa,
their
whoa.
Scotties experience has to give them a bit of something to lean on. It's still a 10-end game here. If they can get 2 points, that'll set them up to claw their way back in. And it's really about in between these ends. You get about a minute for the commercial break. So try to start finding some trends. Really 2 well-placed lead rocks to start the end. And whenever it's patchy like this, you just try to make your best guess and move forward. Okay, if it's a fresh line, it's 12 feet slow, then we'll go with that until we see otherwise. And that's kind of how you puzzle it out.
Whoa, back eat. Whoa. Back eat. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Curl. Curl. Curl, Shane. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
Nice opportunity now. There's only 1 rock that's really of a concern for Northern Ontario. Get around those corners. There's good separation in the corners.
I was thinking, you're getting ready for this, and I think this situation as here in Thunder Bay is very much, it's the first night, first game, so we may be getting ahead of ourselves. But this is very similar to my mind as Guju was in 17 in St. John's. The pressure of playing at home, and you remember Guju started 1 and 3.
Yeah.
They were
Slow.
putting so much pressure on themselves. And then they had that meeting, and they said, boys, let's just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
And they completely turned it around. Now it's only the 5th, and it's 5-1, and it's game
I
on.
guess we could.
It may take a few meetings like that for this team.
I think you just roll
Yeah, no
up.
question about it.
Kind of wait. Peel.
Straight up there, Cage. Just stay.
I think it's also important to remember that not that long ago, teams practiced the day before the opening draw. The ice wasn't as green. There were lots of people in the building that, leagues would get the opportunity to play. Nothing happened in this building yesterday on the ice. This ice is very green, and we always see a settling in. And, you know, when I'm watching Krista McCarville's team, I'm seeing reflections of that on B, C, and D. So, and those teams don't have that pressure, Vic. I agree that it adds a lot more to Krista McCarville's plate, and Rick Lang knows that better than anybody. But we're seeing that everywhere. So I'm wondering if there are some ice challenges that all teams are facing.
Yeah, well said. Sure looks like it.
I think it'll be, you know, you're right, Kathy. I mean, he's been there, seen that, done that. But I think it's going to be, even during the provincials, Krista said there were times when Rick's advice was really needed and called upon to settle them down because of the pressure of just trying to get to this moment.
Reminds me of that terrible game that we played against Jennifer Jones when we just didn't know where the rings were. Time after time, I'm saying, kick a little harder, do something, right?
There you go. As he chats with his daughter, Sarah Potts.
It's a nice hot mic intel for us.
But there's again, we saw her make that triple 97%. But sometimes is it true, Joe, that you have to generate it yourself? As he says, kick out, do something, change what you're doing in the hopes of changing ultimately what's going on the ice.
Yeah, almost be afraid to miss the other way. I mean, we're told so often with draws, you want to be able to use the rock. Missing heavy does nothing to help the team. So if you're a little bit light, at least you can use that rock. But the problem when it's a little patchy like this is you're a little bit light is actually 12 feet light and not usable at all. So you kind of have to start to try making it on your own and just get out of your own way a little bit. And I think that's what makes doubles trains really well. You have no help out there. You have to get that feel, figure out where the forefoot is. And it's a very lonely game, and that's a great skill. And I think we're seeing that from Team Saskatchewan.
And again, I come back to the reps. It doesn't shock me that Saskatchewan started off with the lead in this game at all, with 17 spiels compared to 4.
Hard.
But they've got to keep talking out there, like Rick Lang is.
Hard line. 16-3. 16-3? Yes, we got it. Three-quarters high.
Well, you love to return and see friends, and Sherry Anderson, the smile from Delisle, of course, and 8 times she's been at the Scotties, a silver medalist back in 2002 when she lost to Colleen Jones, and of course going with that 5 Canadian senior championships and 3 world seniors.
Incredible.
And she and Nancy Martin are just a wonderful team.
Yes! Whoa!
Okay, good. That's fine.
Get it.
Andrea just can't get them far enough down the sheet.
This is a great opportunity for her, though. She threw the right line. She was 5-6 feet light, so she can make the adjustment, really lock it in now. Great opportunity here. Get 2 buried.
That should be there.
Top
that
4.
Be there.
I don't think it was. Okay, stay close. Room. Stay close. Close. Top 4. Room. Top 8. Room. Curl. Got it, curl. Keep going. Easy. Whoa. Straight.
Very nice.
One team not playing tonight, and that is Nunavut. And the team from the Iqaluit Curling Club is idle, and the territory is back after missing last year's event.
Keep going. Easy. Whoa. Straight.
It's funny when Andrea let that go. It was like, it's there. She felt like she was in the hack almost. It's just the feels just starting to show up here now.
And sometimes that happens as a player. Her draws are going to have to feel like back 8 for a little bit.
Yeah, we used to say you can't throw it through. It feels like you cannot throw it through with that type of ice. The watch can really fool you sometimes, especially if the pebble's sharp or there's a lack there of pebble.
Running out a little, we could, like what they did, but.
Draw?
Whatever you. I like the draw. Yeah.
Okay, just freeze here.
Yeah. Like I say, and if it's hanging, we'll be cute.
I mean, yeah, the other option is just there, but.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Just gonna go with her bread and butter. It is a gamble, though.
Kind of like being in for second if we can.
I mean, we could draw right into this, move that guy there and
Yeah,
over here.
I don't mind that.
What do you like?
Rachel Holman probably taking a run at the run back. Even if you miss the run back, you've got a very easy double on your next one. You are up 4.
Yeah. So I don't mind
What do you like, Joe?
I like this.
Yeah.
Draw's not bad either if you get in a good spot.
Yeah, and I think they've seen the path. And again, it kind of plays to Nancy's strength. But I think to your point, Russ, even if you don't make noise in the house, that's makeable double. And I think this is what the scoreboard says here.
Yeah, I think if we open it, it's right.
Yeah. Just nose, low side nose.
Yeah, just your side, Shay. I'm throwing out turn.
The outside, eh? Even if she doesn't connect in the house, she might hit and roll and block shot rock.
That's true.
She just misses it by a little bit.
Or even over curl makes it a tough double.
Nancy Martin and her skip stone here in 5.
Yes! Yes!
They did go to the run back.
Look at Stewart, and they'll drive it by and open them up now.
Okay.
She'll spin that shooter in just to grab the top of the 12.
Shoot.
Yeah, Nancy's the first one to tell you that's probably not her forte, but I do like that call with the score the way it is.
Nance.
A curl,
Expect it to curl like that.
No.
You're throwing bumper? Yeah. It's a few run backs.
Yeah,
They've been a little bit surprised on the
Yeah.
curl, the amount of curl with that up weight.
Always over curl.
Okay, 11 and a half. Okay, sorry? 11 and a half. Okay. Try to get that little flop in. Yeah.
So you want to flop a long way? Do you just want to flop and leave a corner? Showing where do you want to roll here?
I think even dead on's not too bad. Can you get under, do you think? Can you?
I think you could probably get a little bit under. Just can't get too cute. Step one here is just sit
Yeah,
3
yeah.
yellow rocks.
Ideally get away from your own if it's not too dangerous. You cannot wreck here.
No. Ash, hard.
Ash, you got
Really
it.
hard.
Trying to help this over. She may have pushed this out a little bit. As we drop in on Brown against Sturmey, Kathy.
Well, 3 stones belonging to Corinne Brown in the 4-foot for Sturmey. Really didn't have much of a shot on her first. She could see a little piece of 2 of them, moved them around, but left them shot. But Corinne Brown opened the door. On her final stone, she drew deep and made that little pocket at the back of the 4-foot. So for Selena, looking for the hearts for the single, but has a little bit of flex if she goes a little bit deep.
You know, on that, thanks, Kathy. We'll watch what happens here, but go back to the first end. And didn't Kelly say to McCarville, you're popping on your release? And I'm wondering if that happened there too.
Sure looked like it, Joanne. They screamed right away. It was an outward motion for sure.
No.
Gotta find the brakes. Oh, and it slides a little too far, so it'll be 1 red and 1 for Brown. Here we go, final stone. How many can you make go away? Oh, and she'll make 2 and lose the shooter, so McCarville will have a chance for a couple going to the break.
It's good. Good toss.
But again, back to the earlier decision making. The Team Saskatchewan probably wasn't happy with the very first shot from Nancy. She was trying to run it back, but opened it up. That one over curled also, but at the end of the day, she removed 2 rocks with 2 shots. And when you're winning, that's pretty good math.
2's okay.
Yeah.
We have hammer and even.
Yeah. The one come this way.
You were in turn going away.
Yeah, like this one.
For 14,
14 and a half. Yeah.
Final Stone needs a good piece of the 8-foot, looking for 2. Lily, oh my, Lily left. Sipala right, gotta go, you can hear. Andrea Kelly, you gotta go, ladies. Gotta go, get it by that one first. Here we go. Oh, they saved it for her. They got it there for 2. Saskatchewan will lead it, go into the break. 5-3 on this opening night of the Scotties in Thunder Bay.
The 2025 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere. By New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. And by PointsBet, the official sports gaming partner of Curling Canada.
Well, it's been a slow start, to say the least, for Northern Ontario and Krista McCarville right out of the gate. But this one, although it took some big brushing, this should maybe make her feel a little more comfortable.
Absolutely. A little bit light on her draw for hammer, light in the first end, but this one is absolutely perfect. Right on the button. That's a huge 2 points for Northern Ontario leading into the break.
So it's still Saskatchewan and Nancy Martin of the Nutana in Saskatoon with the lead up 5-3. And then you go back, of course, to that 3 that they scored in the second, and there's your difference so far.
Yeah, and it's just Team Saskatchewan has a better read on the ice early here. Martin split for 3, was beautiful control of her draw weight, and McCarville obviously bouncing back is so important. Nancy Martin does have that edge early in this game.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by PointsBet, the official sports book and casino partner of Curling Canada. Nancy Martin, as she said, she'll have that last rock in the even ends. 6th when we come back.
We really learned from last year's experience. There's something about playing at a national championship, and then there's the Scotties. And now that we're here, we also know the amount of work that it'll take to get that 1% better, because at the Scotties, people are bringing their best games.
We've formed a new team together. Jill Brothers joined us at 3rd. We've wanted to play together for a long time, but it hasn't worked out. And finally, it was like, let's do this. Let's make the best team we can.
So we'll be back with you tomorrow. Make a note, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and our first look at Pool B as Ontario and Danielle Inglis out of Ottawa will play Christina Black out of the Halifax Curling Club. The Nova Scotia team has worked their way up now to number 4 in the country, and many thinking that she is the best team to come out of Nova Scotia since Colleen Jones, and Jones is the last winner for Nova Scotia back in 2001. So 2 p.m. tomorrow, Ontario, Nova Scotia will be our feature and our first look at Pool B. Tonight it's all about Group A. Pool A. And you get excited because you think about barbecue chicken, and that just makes me smile.
Makes me smile.
It's the only French word he knows.
So we are going to the 6th, our featured game. Northern Ontario down by 2, and it's Saskatchewan leading 5-3. And Saskatchewan does have last rock. They have the hammer playing the Red Stones.
I know, but I don't think.
Interesting. We saw McCarville go center line guard, and Deanna Doig tried to come around, but came up significantly light. So that whole side of the sheet just looks heavy. And then a bit of a miscommunication for Northern Ontario. Ashley Sipala thought that they were playing the come around when Krista actually called the second center line guard.
Now there is a little bit of distance, but again, over time we're told that that side closest to the boards may get some heat off the crowd. I'm not sure if that's part of it.
Yeah, at this point it's seen more play, so it's better. It's broken down better, but that's true, Vic. It will, as it continues to break down, you can see that path start to slow as well.
But you're having a good day already.
Yeah. It's early.
Oh, one right to start the week.
One right. That's right. There it is. First day, one right. And that's it.
7. What was Ash's? That was 14-8. Okay, 14-8. So 14. Same, though. Another one down.
The good news here for Northern Ontario is Andrew made a beauty. And Krista made a great one that had to be brushed from end to end, but they made it. And Team Saskatchewan will give you chances here. It's just their style of play. They're not going to try to run and hide.
That's been at all. Close. Yeah, that's more than you. All there. We're bumping. Close. Bumping. Ash. Ash, slow that number heavy. Hard, Ash.
Trying to carve it over. Don't want to bounce off.
Hard.
That side seems fine, Joanne.
Yeah, and I think that's what's catching the players a little bit. 14-2, so that would have been almost through.
Yeah, right.
15-2 is there with no sweeping.
That didn't slow down an inch.
Kathy, bring us up to date, please, on all the other games.
Well, Rachel Homan scoring 2 on a measure. And even though it's a very lopsided game, there have been definitely times that PEI has forced that Canadian team to really have to make some good shots. It was a blank attempt by Melissa Adams that got 1. That's why the score is now 4-2 on that sheet. And we saw that Sterne draw going that little bit too deep, and a steal to Corinne Brown in 5.
Okay, straight. Okay.
That's not bad.
2 overthrows back to back.
Yeah, that's nice. Heated up on that outturned side. Nobody's catching it.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. Usually in the 5th end break, they run a mop up and down the sheet. So you typically see the speeds a little bit faster for at least the first kind of half of the 6th end. Expected to see that on both sides. You didn't see it on the one, but you definitely see this on the right-hand side of the sheet. That outturned side.
You want to be smart here, Beck, and miss some of these maybe on the top 8, top 12 side and force your opponent to the slow side.
Remember all those years Kendra was throwing the 3rd stone before Andrea Kelly joined the team. Now in her 8th appearance, oh dear, and missed opportunity here. She's going to go deep.
I really thought she slid a lot less.
Yeah, I thought you shot less.
Don't we just draw still?
I mean, if we rip, it's a pretty easy double. That's in the way.
Geez, the guard is your problem, though.
Like this, one more here.
I like that.
Even here, good, Cage, anywhere here.
Yeah, so even if we're top 12.
3 feet less?
Yeah, a couple feet less.
Well, I mean, if you can prevent them from getting, I mean, that there's space there, Joe, to get down on top if you're in Northern Ontario. If you can prevent them from doing that, isn't this a good shot? You're sitting one, Saskatchewan.
Yeah, and the draw speed looks really nice in this path. There's just some risk involved. If you're heavy again, it's just going to be a massive pile of rocks for Northern Ontario to come down to.
Okay, that's
maximum weight already.
Yep, straight.
It is quick.
Okay.
2 up with a hammer. You peel the guard. Yes, McCarville could maybe freeze one in there, but they haven't demonstrated they can do that yet.
No. I mean, there's 4 stones now that are gone deep.
Yep. This is huge here. Now you've got the double backing. Just sink one in here.
You understand Northern Ontario missing heavy because the rocks have to be there. But for Adriana, she'll want that back because anything light would have played.
Yeah.
I think we're there.
Absolutely.
A little above.
Andrea Kelly as we play the first of 3rd stones. Here in 6. Great opportunity now for Northern Ontario to sink one and cover the pin.
Oh, this looks real good.
Oh, here we go. Lily's got her. Here's Sipala. Is this the shot for Northern Ontario? Yes, it is.
No, you're not happy about the yellow guard.
Or just rip that.
Yeah, probably. Still not going to be good, but.
curl. Okay, good.
Good.
I don't know. What do you think?
There might be room later in the end if Krista McCarville or sort of Nancy Martin can tap that. I think there's room to get to the pin and be shot rock. So it looks like you can tap that maybe a couple inches.
Yeah, just very precise. You want to get to as much as that yellow as possible, and only half is exposed, maybe a thick half.
So just keep guarding this for now.
Yeah, even if the guard isn't thrown, it's still not an easy situation for Saskatchewan.
No kidding. Three perfect draws from Andrea Kelly here in a row.
Real tight. 16-6.
I thought it was going to be tight, but I don't feel confident.
And what did you say in our pre-game? You said that it's going to take a really good week by Andrea Kelly, Joe, to take some pressure off of Krista McCarville.
Yeah. Just so she doesn't have that draw, because she has nothing on that side.
Yeah.
She's got to peel.
Yeah, it got my draw was just a little bit tighter path.
It was.
You have to think that years and years of the skipping.
Yeah, because I got 14.5 on, like Kendra's, I was getting 14. What did I get? 14.4 on her first one, but 14 something else. Yeah. Anyway, they were just like.
You have to think that years of skipping for Andrea Kelly, they've built a lot of resilience in her. So really not close on draw weight, but all of a sudden 3 in a row here.
Yeah. Stewart, 1-2, and look at that. Drives it right back.
Real good shot.
Gets some separation, unlocks the shot stone.
At least it gives you room.
Yeah.
Shot, Shay. Looks better.
Yeah. It's nice to unlock those back ones.
Yeah. I was calling line like I knew where I wanted to hit it.
I'd like it.
I think so. I mean, it's
not
going to
out of
cross
jail
like
yet,
that.
but it definitely helps.
Pretty good, with a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's created some space, so Krista needs to be quite precise with the line on this guard. Tighter broom here. She has to cross the center line to protect her yellow rock in the top 8 foot.
Okay, just kind of just cross the center line. Yeah, you're good. Okay, spot's running pretty quick now, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably couldn't pick a more predictable spot for this out-turn draw.
Similar. Little.
Hold it tight. Yep, Kendra, if you can.
Kendra, hold it. Hold it if you can.
This one's a little higher.
It might overbend.
Just pass half.
It's got to sit. It's got to sit.
Whoa,
it's got to sit.
No.
That's fine.
Okay.
Well judged. It's got to be so hard as a front-end player to watch a guard come down so slow out of the thrower's hand and fight that urge to jump all over it.
Yeah, I think it's just high. Yeah. Trying to get it through here.
Right. Yeah.
11-5.
Brown and Sturmey, and it's Sturmey sitting the 1 at the back.
She's sitting the 1, but what a turnabout in this end. Corinne Brown just came out on her final stone, was a little bit wide and a little bit hard, jammed and rolled too far, and so instead of a tough force, Selena now has a shot, just needs to hit about 3/4 of the brown stone for 3.
Whoa, wait.
A little big. 11.
Sturmey out of the Saville Sports Center in Edmonton, and British Columbia from Kamloops. All right, there you are. Settle down now. Sit down. Oh, and then we'll spill too far.
Okay. 2.
So 2 will go on the board for Alberta and Sturmey, who Sturmey is the number 3 team out of the point system.
Okay.
Oh, Nancy almost made that. Just
Yeah. Not bad.
Not bad.
Better.
Just a curl a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah.
She's slowly making her last shot a little easier, but it's still not going to be a gimme. Do you draw a second one in, put the pressure on, Joe?
I think so. I try to go kind of half top 4 foot buried.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Force Nancy to a pretty precise draw.
If your hair light, you do the job too. If you get that in, like you say.
Even just tuck like an inch
Yeah.
and try to block the draw path.
Block
Get her to go wider into that fast stuff.
Block the out-turn, yes.
15. I feel like this spot, like her, Andrews is 14.5. Touched it. It tapped it a hair. I'm thinking like 14.8 is probably close, I think.
Yeah, I think all 4 here.
Stay close,
Line's
Kendra.
good. Line's good.
Danger here would be over curling light.
Line's good.
And then the shot rock would be exposed, and it's curling hard.
15-4. You gotta bite the button. Go.
Another big drag for Sippola and Lily, and some 2,500 more. And they will drag it there to sit the 2.
We got the over curl, which is really dangerous, but they managed to brush it coast to coast and just get it far enough. Good job here, Joanna.
15-4.
Yeah, they didn't think it was that light, and at the end they just had to jump on this really well to get it as far as they did, especially with what was happening on line.
Okay, so think about this now, that and this path has been well worn, right? This out-turn path. We saw earlier in the end 3-4 overthrows.
Like everybody went deep here, right?
Now and now you're facing 2.
Like
Are you likely to pull back on this, or could we see the overthrow? Of your Martin. And it just, what is she going to pull on this, do you think?
I think she'll throw it a little bit later, but she does have backing to use, so she's not going to make a huge adjustment.
All there.
We're all there right
Here we
now.
go, not a lick yet.
Oh, no.
From Stewart
Try to
or
score
Lott.
the back one then.
Now you're going to need that backing.
It's coming down.
You can actually nose your own and still get away with it.
Let it work.
I think we still need to be curling.
Are we on our red? Good.
Ooh, and just enough.
One red.
Wow.
One red.
Nervous moments for Nancy Martin.
Yeah, that's okay.
Leads at 6-3. Well, the port is closed here in Thunder Bay. The last ship, I think, if I read correctly, just left in early January. And they'll welcome the first ship back. They'll break some ice and get the ships back by April, if not before. But they had a wonderful season, a lot of grain, a lot of potash from Saskatchewan.
Perfect.
Heading out to the East Coast, about 3,700 kilometers from here to the Atlantic Ocean. As we welcome you back on this Friday night, Valentine's Day. Hope you're having a nice Valentine's Day. Joining us for the opening of the Scotties, the Tournament of Hearts, the Canadian Women's Curling Championship as we go to the 7th. Saskatchewan up by 3. And Northern Ontario with the last rock. They have the hammer playing the Yellowstone.
Hard, Kendra, you got it. Go. Keep going. Hard. Line's good. Keep going.
15-4.
I thought it was light.
That time of the game, Joe, where Northern Ontario has to ignore everything that's going on in the middle and play to the wings.
Yeah, I think a multiple score here is crucial. It gets you back in it for the 8th end. That was a huge sweep from Kendra Lilly. If that rock wrecks on the guard, it's almost end over.
True.
Now they've got that second point tucked away. They'll have to get busy in the middle, though, pretty quick here.
No line.
Off. Curl.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because you've got to be careful with a team like Nancy Martin. Martin being 3 up, if you're Northern Ontario, you might think, well, they're going to start peeling guards. Well, they might not, so you can't leave this middle chunked up for as long as you think you can.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them ignore everything that's going on the side of the rings. Just keep the focus on the middle. And at some point, you got to get one. Won't be enough this end. I think they're desperate to score 2.
Hair high.
Hair high.
This is 5 rock rule. Need to clear off some reds here, but the most important thing is to keep your shooter in the rings.
We teach so many clinics, and it's amazing how people go, well, why? If I can make the triple, well, triple doesn't really help you with the score the way it is. You've got to save this yellow one.
Picked up early, right out of her hand. Sipula.
Whoa! Whoa!
And hang around.
Really nice.
And nice indeed as she unlocks the stones in the 4-foot and does hold that shooter.
Great throw. That back red, Vic, you see it when it makes contact with the shot rock and it glides in behind the Northern Ontario rock. Could pay dividends.
Good release.
Wait's good. Whoa! Close. Whoa!
Adriana Lott
Thin double. Yep.
looking for the thin double as Stewart picks her up. And we'll get one. Going to lay this right on the corner. Freeze it right to the corner. How's that?
Really good.
They called an audible that they missed it, and then they decided to go thin double, and they missed it, and probably ended up in the very best spot imaginable.
Unlock it. You gotta unlock these.
Okay. There's not a lot of space though to do that.
Okay, back 4, back 8.
But at least you have the red. Like it'll go back on that red hopefully. Or yellow.
Just to tap it.
Okay.
Stay back 4.
Okay. Do you think 15 to tee here?
Yep.
The very best way to get that freeze out of there would be play the run back, but it's just so dangerous down 3.
Yeah, you missed the run back and the end is over.
Yeah,
I think this is
sure.
the call.
Yeah.
Have to address this freeze situation. Really precise shot, though. That guard is very tight to the rings, and McCarville will be looking for some curl past the guard.
Well, yeah, and then is there going to be enough weight in the stone to move anything?
I think they're just trying to do a little jiggle. It's a back 4 weight was the call.
Just don't miss wide. You cannot miss wide here.
Andrea Kelly. Got to help it over here. Knife it over. Carve it over. Just touch it. Oh, and just does touch it, but will spin now and finally settle for, it looks like, 3rd shot, maybe even 4th shot at the back of the 8-foot.
Really, really good attempt, but came up empty. That was tough. Didn't really help the situation at the top.
Do you want to just throw a 9-5 or a 10?
9-5's good.
Sorry, 9-5?
Yeah.
You got it, Shay.
Get a good feel for how loud it is out there. The crowd's not even cheering, and they're having a hard time hearing each other.
Yeah.
Little down. Little down.
Yeah. Yes!
Hard.
Well, there's really no way, as Kathy said, for the sound to escape. It's a very low ceiling here.
It is. It's flat and it's low, and I think that that's also making it difficult with the heat because it doesn't have much room to rise before it pushes it back down.
Yes, you're onto something there, Kathy. That's a wonderful idea because it's what have you got it? You're saying in the break you're what is 68?
60. I'm turning around. It's 66 degrees now where I am.
I know you're up high, but that's awfully warm.
I know. This is just a hard shot, but it does
If
curl.
anything, we roll that way, hair. Okay. What do you like, 9 or 8.5?
Yeah, probably 9.
Okay.
They are going to take that run back on now.
Yeah, both options are so tough.
Yeah.
Well, they might get a
probably the
break
best
here,
result.
right? I mean, doesn't that red a little bit of a catcher for their yellow? If you
Oh, yeah, if you make this, it's the best result.
Yeah.
That come around tap, even if you make it, it's still, you're not out of jail yet. This could be a real swing.
Yeah.
Do you like the tap better?
I don't mind this.
Okay. Okay.
I
We're
just
just
don't-
shooting the red to the middle?
What's that?
Are we just squirting the red over?
Yeah, we might have ours.
Yeah, this is not going out. It's going there, but we know that we're sitting there.
This should run right there, eh?
I would
This
think so,
team
yeah.
needs a spark, Vic. Hey,
Yeah.
they're kind of going through the motions a little bit here. Tough ask to run this straight back and stick it. It's been a ton of over curls on these runbacks.
Kendra Lilly on the stone from Andrea Kelly. Here we go. Bang. Catcher.
That's good.
And we'll leave the guard out in front.
Nice shot, Andrea.
Really good shot.
Live look now. Alberta against New Brunswick and Melissa Adams.
And Melissa electing to play the draw. Kayla Skurlik hitting stuck on her final stone. The Alberta team playing with only 3 tonight. Jerry Lynn back at the hotel, not feeling well, and their 5th does not arrive until Monday. And so they are contending with 3 and putting more pressure on Melissa. Does need half of the stone to 3/4 of the stone in the 8-foot to score.
Whoa! Easy, Bruce.
Adams went 2 and 6 last year in Calgary. It's a familiar field if you followed us a year ago. 12 of the 18 teams this year were, in fact, in Calgary.
Nicely done. Scores are single.
Okay.
She asked that down there. I said no.
What's the clock at?
We're just under 15.
How much?
14:10.
14:50.
14?
Yeah, 14:50.
Okay, I just can't see it from here, so. What do you think, Cher?
Well, my first thought was just a little tap.
Or tap this guy?
Yeah. Try to change the angle, get to this side of it. Get this side, move that. Yeah, so you don't set up a double. Move it back a foot. So the angle's good, then you can get at it. You're setting 1-2.
Then you'll always maybe have this angle.
Great. Yeah, I like that.
What were you thinking?
Am I trying to get low?
That's what I thought. Just a hair low. Just set
I mean,
the
it's
angle
not the
and
worst
move that a
if
foot.
he ends up high though either. Like,
Yeah.
you throw tap
If I
weight.
knows this is rolling out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then they're both going to be good.
Okay. So what are we
Nose
seeing?
Just a hair low.
Yeah.
So what are we
You
seeing
like that?
for?
Yeah, I do, Sherry. I like that. I like that better
Like
than the
this
rib.
with tap weight.
Like just back 4.
Yeah.
Aggressive call not to remove a yellow rock in this situation, but you know, this
I think that's
team,
good.
that's their
I was think- yeah.
MO,
I
and
was
they're
thinking it
very,
was-
very comfortable with opposing rocks in play.
Oh, it's still you.
Who'll argue with you there, Russ? So Shaylin Stewart has been on fire with her runbacks and really accurate with that big weight.
But it's close.
Yeah,
I thought we might see them try to rip it out, hit it thin, and
Or even the back yellow one.
Okay. So then,
My question would be, though, if
okay.
Speed's good here. Right?
will this game plan that she has change? She says it won't against, say, a Holman later in the round robin.
Not a chance. Not a
Yeah.
chance. Yeah. I
You don't think so?
No. No.
Okay.
So just tapping a foot. Sherry made a good point. If you tap this back 8, it'll then be a
Weight's
red
good,
double.
weight's
You don't want to tap the yellow-red combo very far.
Wait.
Yep. Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. Yep. Gotta go wait.
Weight's good.
Watt left. Doig right. Here we go. This is what they were going. They want to get it low. Low side. They did.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
Does that do anything for them?
It's cheap for her already.
Who's
eh?
closer at the... Looks like
Pretty good
yellow's
angle.
Yeah, change
fourth.
the angle good. Yeah.
I just don't like when she comes down, then she leaves, and I don't know what we're still like.
Yeah.
I'd rather if she stayed or if everybody came and.
We can do that when you call her down. We can come
Yeah,
too.
like it doesn't make sense for then she leaves and I'm like, what's the call?
Yeah.
It should. Yes.
Other option here, the yellow on the left looks better than the 2 reds on the left, correct? So you could come through the hole and tap that other red that's in the 4-foot.
Do you like that for room?
Kathy, it's early. Day 1 still won't stop talking. Here we go. Brown and Sturmey, Kathy.
Well, the shot stone belongs to Corinne Brown. The yellow one in front of it was Selena Sturmey's final stone. Played to freeze, try to really reduce the scoring area for Corinne. So she will need the hearts to score 2.
Went 4 and 4 last year
T-line.
in Calgary.
Line's good. Line's good.
Line's good.
Busy team this year, this BC side, 11 events, 61 games. They beat Kayla McMillan in the final. McMillan, a former champion.
Good throw, Corinne. Really, Crow.
Be there just for the single.
A bit of a guess out there. Yeah. It's very nice. Yeah. Good, yeah. And then I might have a shot at something off that other one. Okay. Like I might be able to eye slash that one into. Yeah. What are you throwing? Just a firm 10, I think. Okay. Okay. Doesn't do much here. It's nice release.
Just looking for the nose hit here. Near us.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah. I thought they.
10. Queens. 10.
I thought McCarville might have hit the other red. Saskatchewan rock roll buried, but yeah, nose hit here.
And on the nose. So they are shot stoned for the moment, Saskatchewan.
Good throw, Nance.
Getting the one.
I don't think she can do anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just roll?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Do you like that same weight as you? 10 and a half?
If you could hit this, maybe kick that over a little bit. If you could somehow do that and get that yellow redirected in a little different angle, then this red's accessible with a yellow raise. Or maybe slide underneath.
I think trying to roll over to that pile is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough to go straight across and move the yellow, isn't it? So I think they're trying to roll under their yellow.
A little more than 10. 10, 2. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Close. Whoa, no.
Kendra.
Girls.
Really hard.
Gotta go. Curl.
Really hard.
Curl.
Almost right out of her hand. Picked up by Kendra Lilly.
Okay.
And she'll roll it away. So shot stone for the moment is the yellow top edge of the 4.
Okay.
Just push it sideways.
Team Canada has picked up a steal of 2
Yeah, like
in
if
the
we
6th
high-side
and
this and stay
pulling
here.
away now from PEI.
Yeah, actually, that's not bad. Even like you have this
Even
catcher,
if you touch
right?
it a hair, it still might be second, then she has to draw.
Yeah,
against
because
them,
like
right?
you have this catcher, so you don't even have to be.
No, but I would like
Yeah,
to
I
stay
know,
in front
but-
of that.
Yeah.
So like a 10 there.
Okay. That was really good 10 last time.
They originally looked at this, roll over this way, but that's a dangerous play. This is a much easier call and maybe a little more valuable. If you can get your red one and you've got a saver here, a catcher, you can sneak into there, then it's a really tough score of more than one. I think this is the simpler of the 2 shots. That bullet weight off the right-hand yellow would have been difficult. That's just not the shot that Nancy's comfortable with. Just hair high side here, Joe.
I think so. Let's try to narrowly miss the red that's on the tee line.
10-5.
10-5.
Yeah.
Overcurl scary though.
Ugh. Huge scrub from Doig. So from Lott and Stewart. And she'll get rid of 1. But it'll leave a chance for 2.
Sure will. The shot rock already.
Yeah.
Just
That's going to make it interesting, isn't it?
whatever.
I think so.
Just
Seems to be.
looked a little light. It didn't scream right away, but it didn't have a ton of speed to hold the line.
Andrea. Little more. Okay, piece of 4.
Okay. Yeah. What are you thinking?
14 and a half?
Yeah.
Still? I think it's still.
You got it.
Shows 55% on her hits.
Really good.
Strength of her game tonight is the draw weight. And here we go. Can you make it a 2 spot here in the 7th? And they're going to need that 4. And here we go again. Lillard and Sipper. Here we go again. Got to get it by that one first, girls. Get it by that one first. Here we go. For 2. They're scratching their way back here.
2.
So after being down by 3 after 2, McCarville now within 1, but Saskatchewan will have Last Rock when we come back.
No.
Here's our opening night. The Scotties Tournament of Hearts from Thunder Bay, Fort William Gardens. And our feature is the hometown team, Northern Ontario, and Krista McCarville puts 2 on the board in the 7th. And she's clawed her way back now to trail by 1. Saskatchewan and Nancy Martin from Saskatoon with Last Rock. They have the hammer playing the Redstones here in 8. It's been a turnaround too for this. We mentioned McCarville struggled right out of the gate. So did Andrea Kelly. She's brought her game up now to 75%. Kendra Lilly is the low person on the team right now at 63%.
Go if you need to. Go! Hard! 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 We're out there. Hard! You got it! Hard, Shay! Go! Hard!
Okay.
Beauty. 16.
Let's go, Kendra. That was 15-8.
Okay. Like 15?
Yeah.
Where are they going, Joe? Right around?
Yeah, try to sit top button here. Utilize the Saskatchewan Redstone, this back button.
2 ends ago, there were a tremendous amount of shots by both teams missed heavy in this particular spot.
Line, guys. Yep.
She might have been a hair wider with the broom
Hard,
than
line, great. Hard.
2 ends ago.
Hard, really hard. Hard.
Line's golden if they can keep it alive. Just a little light.
Little rub. Just a little rub.
Whoa, don't float.
Yep. Okay. 15-7.
I think it was good to stay on that and kick it open. Now you can race it to the shot rock if you have to.
You can do that. Or rip that.
Yeah, either one. What do you guys like?
We rip that. They've got that.
I like the rip.
Okay.
I like this call.
Yeah.
The most important thing this end is to score.
Yeah. 2 ends ago, they didn't make this call till later in the end. Now they're doing it earlier. Absolutely. A single here for Team Saskatchewan would be pretty big.
Yep.
Good. What do you guys, did you like that or no?
I liked the rip.
Okay. I didn't hear what you said.
Sure, but
okay.
Might have been tempting for Saskatchewan to just hit the yellow one that's at the top of the 12 foot, because that's in a good spot too, and they're sitting shot. They're trying not to make the shots for McCarville. But we saw it a few ends ago, like we said, they didn't bail early and they ended up in trouble.
I don't think you need to.
Just half. Easy.
That's what you want?
I know. Easy. Gotta curl a bit. Maybe a hair.
Yeah.
Ash.
Hard, Ash.
Hard. You gotta curl it. Really hard.
Hard.
You gotta go. Hard.
Hard.
Keep going.
Go.
Hard. Keep
Okay.
going. Keep going.
Okay.
Great. Good.
Nice, Kendra.
Pretty deep. It certainly got the line figured out, but pretty deep. See what they do here.
So much less than that other one.
Both seconds struggling.
They almost tied it.
Kendra Lilly,
I know.
Adrienne Lott.
Especially on the draw side, Vic. That's what makes you think there's struggling a bit with the surface.
It does seem like everyone just carries more.
Yep.
Yep. Clean.
Yep.
Yep.
Clean.
Clean.
Yep.
Yep.
Hard. Go. Okay. Whoa. Good.
Good.
Well, don't miss a new season of the foul-mouthed chirp serving Crave original comedy sensation. It's called Shoresy, and you can stream it now only on Crave.
Yeah.
Andrea Kelly, it was her shot that set him up for the deuce in 7.
Joanne pointed it out in the break. That was probably a game saver. That was what, 8-9 foot run back, stuck it, and that allowed that potential. And otherwise, McCarville's looking at 4 or 5 red ones.
Oh dear! Everybody was thinking they might get a drink.
Just kind of soft, eh?
Yeah. That's interesting. Kind of soft was the comment. So maybe with the surface, if you don't finish the release, if you just kind of open your hand and let it go, it just kills the legs on the rock, kills a bit of that velocity, and then it just really magnifies where that rock stops. Sometimes the body speed is really close, but if you don't finish it.
All right, Kathy, Alberta, Skurlik, New Brunswick, Adams.
And it is Kayla Skurlik that is looking the most comfortable out of all the teams that I am watching tonight. She made a really nice run back on her first after Melissa Adams buried one. The yellow stone that is at the back 8 foot is the final stone by Melissa Adams. It is second shot. Kayla could draw for 2, but she's playing a quiet weight tap for 4. Trying to make this move.
Look out, there's the hole there, and move it back far enough. It looks like they may have.
Good enough for 3. That biter won't count, but we'll get the 3.
Boy, that was a delicate shot there.
What an effort by Ashton Skurlik. The only sweeper out there. She's keeping it straight, making it curl. It's a busy night for her.
Yeah, again,
Good sweep.
their lead and vice, Jerry Lynn Ramsey, is not feeling well this evening. This team out of the Garrison Curling Club in Calgary.
Yes, line! Hard line! No, it's already gone.
This is that slow side that we have not played.
Tight. It's a guard. Tight. Okay. Not even. Oh, this is not good. Not good.
What a brilliant shot in the previous shot for Saskatchewan to play that soft double tap and kick the Northern Ontario rock out in the open. It's big trouble here now.
You see it reflected in the numbers here. Shaylin Stewart is having herself a game.
And hard shots.
Yeah.
Really hard shots.
Because they're out right now is the
draw.
pin. What do you like? Okay.
Mixed doubles, you ignore the yellow, sink another one. That's exactly what they're going to try to do. You could, there's an argument to hit it because freezing on the intern side for Team Northern Ontario is not a gimme. But I like this call better. It blocks it off completely. Again, you got a chance to break the game open here, but you have to continue to keep that single alive. You don't want to give up a steal here and get too cute.
I thought max, guys, but I think we're.
It's okay.
We'll see if this dies.
Top floor.
They're calling heavy here.
Top floor.
Stay close. It's curling.
Gotta go.
Lott and Doig. Here we go. Drag one more in there, and they sure do as they drag it down to the corner to sit 2.
3-7.
Just a brilliant performance.
And we have our first final, Kathy, and it's a win for the defending champions, Rachel Holman.
Well, and for Rachel, she'll take that win, but I think that they will be amongst many of the teams really trying to chart paths and stones later tonight.
Yeah.
And Holman's next opponent tomorrow night will be against Northern Ontario. And PEI will play Saskatchewan.
Great draw by Shaylin. I timed that as a 13-8 from hog to hog. So that side is running 13-8. The other side is a 15. So that's over 6 feet difference. And really well read. And sometimes it's just a good guess. And the sweepers did a really good job managing that and getting on it before it really hit the brakes.
A lot better than Northern Ontario's been doing on that side. This is tricky now because it's just so easy to spill this off, set up a double and sit 4, maybe 5.
Becky. I was thinking Becky. Whoa, gosh. Back 12. Hard. Hard, Kendra. Hard, Kendra. It's coming down. Hard. Keep it going. Hard.
out Sipola and down to the corner, and will move it back just enough. Saskatchewan now sitting just the one.
Just a brilliant attempt there. That just was not predictable. A very, very good guess.
Could guard first and then do that. I think, hey? I think we have to guard it this way.
Player numbers are brought to you by New Holland, proud sponsor of Curling Canada.
Okay. Where's guarding?
If Nancy wanted to on her last one,
I mean, she can't get shot there anyway.
she got to get it just right, but that is queued up pretty close to score a 3. Now, you don't like raising the wrong color, but it technically would be there.
Just come to the inside of it.
So they're going to guard this first, and I like the call because if you start playing with some weight and you open it up, Krista sinks one, the score's tied.
She could draw the out turn side. That's tough.
Yeah, she probably will just be. I like the guard. She can just smack it. Yeah.
Maybe a little longer here because McCarville might run it in.
It's dangerous to play a run. I mean, you would just risk opening it up probably. So probably halfway is pretty good here.
Look at the rotation.
It's out there.
Whoa.
This is a tough judge with the extra rotation. Is this rock going to carry more?
It has to.
The reason for the rotation, though, is what?
Just to keep it moving, keep it from grabbing any fresh pebble and coming to a dead stop.
I counted 12 full rotations there, Vic.
I was going to say if she's saying go or whoa.
You're not playing the tab, you're protecting the draw. Sorry, I didn't know if you're saying go or whoa.
Well, I don't think we need to go there, though. We can go up there.
Well, all she's got to do is get here.
Yeah, I know, but I got to overcurl it.
Yeah.
Just to be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's got this, though, eh?
Well,
yeah,
for the double tap, you mean? Well, what do you think? You don't want to open it up, though.
No. Do you think she has that?
She might have it to knock it in for 2.
What do you guys like here? We gotta.
Can we just guard? Yeah.
Like here?
Yeah.
Or like this?
Well, I think we want a half cover on this one.
What's that?
Like she has.
Do you think she has the red?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do?
I think so. So I think we kind of have to go like here.
And just give her the draw? Because that's not blocking the draw then.
She has the double tap, right? You can't guard both.
There's 2 options here, and you can't guard both. You just heard it.
Tap that in here and roll a bit, but that you could open it up too. Yeah.
Okay, we got to decide what do you like. Give her that?
Do you want to just guard that?
I feel like the draw is harder than this tap.
Okay.
Do you guys feel like this tap's easier?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the tap's easier because they've seen the path so much. They'll have a really good idea on line. At least the draw forces them wider.
Yes. You leave the yellow one open, it's a potential 3. One of those situations where I think both teams would be happy if Saskatchewan scores 1.
She's probably trying to take away the draw and
I think she's trying to do both. Yeah, I think it's hard though. Like, 'cause you can roast some weight at that red one.
Final stone for Krista McCarville in Northern Ontario here in 8.
You can hold it there, Kendra.
Yeah, hold it out there.
Really gotta hold it.
Hold it.
Half. Hard. Where? Where?
Stay low.
Whoa, you're gonna over. Can you tick off a bit?
It'll tick.
You're gonna
Yep.
No, we can't. We don't have the weight. Okay.
Well, that's good enough.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah, the probably took away the red raise, so you've got that yellow with normal takeout weight, yellow triple basically.
Play that with bump.
Or you could draw around everything.
Yeah.
They think it's still there.
Like, because you're just trying to get it across this one to here, right? Like, you're not trying to kill the yellow. You could, but.
Yeah.
But so if you're just a little high side.
Okay.
You like that?
Sure. Just easy bump.
Okay.
Red. To the button, I think.
I think so.
No chance you can hurt yourself here, Joe?
Not promoting the red, I don't
Easy
think.
bump?
No.
What do you need to hit?
Huh?
What do you need to hit?
Well, I think I need to hit most of it.
Yeah. Most of the rock?
Yeah. I think it's hard. You like the draw
That's more
instead?
varied than I thought.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just play the draw.
You just need to get 4 foot.
Okay, you need full 4.
Yeah, they're all very difficult. This draws, she should be close, but close isn't good enough, and you've got to really get some curl past that yellow one.
And how many times have we been out this wide?
Well, exactly, and the
Full
speed in
speed
general has
here or
been
not?
better
Just
on
like
this
that
side.
2 or 3 feet
But
more
they're
than
good,
not full speed.
at least 6 inches wider.
Little bit early. Weight's good.
Line's good.
Added some weight here.
Line's good.
Line's
Yep.
Gotta go.
Sitting one. Has she got enough? A
T-line.
little curl to get in and get full 4.
Close.
Sneak that by now. Has it got enough? Going to bend enough for her.
Curl.
And no, it will not.
Needs curl.
And so they will settle for that one right there. A single for Saskatchewan here in 8. 7-5, they lead it on this opening night of the Scotties. Opening night of the Scotties, the Tournament of Hearts, the Canadian Women's Curling Championship from Thunder Bay and Fort William Gardens. So a single by Saskatchewan has them up now by 2, 7-5. Northern Ontario, Krista McCarville with Last Rock playing the Yellowstones here in 9.
Interesting as this game wears along. We've documented how many draws have been missed, and we're staying away from that out turn coming down, the odd end or in turn coming home, and the even ends. And that's where all the draws have been missed. It'll be interesting to see if one team can force the other to that side.
Weight's great. Yeah, we're T right now.
Like this has been made a ton of times.
Don't need to. Right here. Yeah, we're there. We're there. We're past
We're past that.
Okay. Whoa, for line then. That was it. 14-8.
Finally settles in front of the tee line, edge of the 8 foot. Maybe showing a little bit on that outturn side.
Yeah, I think you could get it on the outturn side if you had to.
Yep. Little up there.
Yeah. 3.
Nice, good.
Kidrian a lot.
Yep.
Straight.
Top 12.
Okay, well then.
Whoa.
Just here.
Yeah, we're in. We're to it.
Easy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good. Okay.
Slight error there. Short would have made it a little more difficult.
Yeah, they were calling, the call was for the tight guard. That's on the side of the sheet we were just talking about that has not seen as much play, and it ran just fine.
Yeah, true.
I like
In tighter, yeah.
Yeah. They're edges. Okay, go here.
But not only is the
Yeah, even
double
if you just-
easier, but the rock that's being thrown might go on the scoreboard
Yeah.
because it's in the rings here that they're aiming at.
Yeah, because we're going to be nose.
She did seem to indicate she would take a flip in behind that corner, but is it
Okay.
all about the double? No.
That would, this early in the end, I like that. Rolling in behind the corner. You still got time to worry about the middle.
Whoa.
You just don't want to flip halfway and set up a yellow double.
Whoa. Curl. 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 More like 11 maybe. Curl.
Straight.
Yeah, straight. Whoa. Whoa. Curl. 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 Curl.
Good.
There's a go. Touched it on the way by. Did get a little flip.
But I don't know.
Almost curled too much for us.
Yeah.
It's acting like a guard now on the redstone in the top 4 foot.
Yeah, not a great leave.
Yep. Clean. Whoa. Whoa. Clean. Clean. Good. Nice throw.
It takes some work to get at that red one now.
Yeah, you know, I was about to say it was pretty chaseable with that guard being higher with seeing the finish, but now with the rock and the 12-foot, that's not there.
I don't mind the draw, and if it curls,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I like the draw. Oh,
No, sorry, I like the draw.
We just
gotta
like
be
the
able to
draw
see it,
better
to use it.
Yeah, and if we ever take the yellow.
Well, that's really over curling, but
yeah,
that's fine.
And if we ever take the yellow, right? Do you like this? I think.
Do you like coming this way and leaving?
Freeze a good call here. If you bump it a foot or so, it'll kick the red out in the open, so you can get at it later.
14-5 we've been.
You heard them mention to try to play it tight. If it happens to over curl and play a bit of a split on the yellow, that
Nice.
might play.
Yeah, if you get them both half open. This should curl hard.
Just there with that.
Yep.
Kendra Lilly.
Yep.
Just there. Running.
Sipla left.
Running.
Kelly right.
Good. Yep, Ash, hard.
To it.
Well, room.
Running.
Room.
No.
Live look, Brown against Sturmey, Kathy.
Well, that Redstone Corinne Brown threw on her final, went through that skinny port with the in turn, but it does appear that it is second shot, not first. But this is the thin double, trying to come off the one that is fully exposed to get that other stone out for multiple points.
Trailing by 5. Oh dear.
That has been the story of the Sturmey team tonight.
So she'll give up 1 and 2, it appears. A steal at 2, Brown and BC, and they'll get the win.
Long day for Corinne Brown, but it ends very happy.
With an 11-4 win.
Gotta go wait. Yep. It's good. Yes. Hard. It's good.
Dropping in as well on Alberta. Skurlik against Adams, New Brunswick.
Well, 2 times Kayla Skurlik tried to play a double and remove the yellow stone at the back, was not able to. So this is the very thin double by Melissa to try to bring that biter at the back into play for 2.
Very close.
No, she's going to just move it far enough, and that biter at the back will go on the board for Adams, down by 4. And it's over 2 as the number 3 team in Canada, Kayla Skurlik, will pick up the win. 8-3 is your final. 8-4. They've played a lot this year, that Skurlik team. That's number 72, 72nd game this season for them.
Yeah, they played a ton.
It's fudging in the middle.
It is. You could hear it.
Talking about fudging up, are they?
Yeah, I talked to
I thought that was
Tom Leonard about that because he was very happy with the install and the way it was going, a little warmer temperature. And I said, do you think it'll flatten out late in the game? He said it could in this draw because it's a night draw and it's draw number 1. And to Kathy's point, there's still some greenness in the surface.
I think
that's what's starting to happen.
I like the first call. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
A little bit more than I threw this way.
Yeah. Got it, Shay.
Get ever across the face of this, a touch.
Yep.
It's good.
Yep.
Clean.
Whoa. Yep.
Hard.
Put it by, touch them both, and push it back far enough. No, and it will leave, it appears, the stone, the red stone, is still shot.
Yeah, it's definitely getting a little soggy down the center. Just enough. You know, we're talking, an inch more curl than I expect. It changes all the results.
Not bad.
Yeah, that was made if they're sweeping it.
You're in the middle too.
Yeah. You like a little more with back 12?
Oh, sure.
Do you guys like that?
I mean, I think.
Yep.
Great opportunity here to sit 3 for Andrea Kelly in Northern Ontario. The question is the thrower, is it coming down in the middle? How much do you have to throw? You don't want to over-adjust here.
Call back 8.
They got her out of her hand, though, because that guard is coming up in a hurry.
Just no speed here, Beck.
Here it comes. Can you save this, Lily? Can you save it, Cippola? Can you save it? Yeah, you got it there. Now what do you got? Have you got enough to get it by and touch everything? You did. Oh, goodness. And they'll push it back. And at the moment it appears, Northern Ontario is sitting 2.
It's on the lighter side of a takeout, that one. Didn't get it out of the forefoot, but did the job.
What an effort. This is end-to-end sweeping. You see Kendra and Ashley, they utilize the speed. High frequency, heats up the ice. They did a really great job. Full length of the sheet here. You just see how it fudges right in the house to Russ.
Yeah.
No legs to that red rock.
No kidding.
That's the best feeling as a sweeper. The crowd screaming while you're sweeping end-to-end.
Just knows it.
Never experienced that, actually.
Double stop.
Kathy knows what I'm talking about.
I sure do.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I sure do.
Freeze.
I don't think they're sitting 3.
No.
No,
They
2,
pushed it
I
right
think.
far enough.
Yeah, it's 2.
Okay. Okay. With what? 10. 10. Straight to her.
Yeah, third shot is that Saskatchewan Stone back edge of the 4.
Closer to an 11.
Skip Stones here in 9.
Whoa.
Curl.
Whoa.
Yeah, we got to get close to that center.
Curl.
We have to almost be touching the center cage. Hard curl. Hard. Hard curl.
Helping it over, and they did a nice job. And now it appears that that is the shot rock. So is there a double to sit 3?
Absolutely, and I think it's the right call. Even if you hit it a little thick, kill this one. If you roll into that area is good too, but you can obviously kick that out and sit the 3. And if you make it and you're in there, Nancy's got a decision to make.
Yeah.
Boy, is this somewhat similar to the way they played in their Northern Ontario.
It's so true.
Provincials, right? Just scratching their way through to the playoffs and then coming from behind in their final.
3 down coming home in the last round robin game. Score 4 or their season was over.
Yeah, they were down 4-2 after 5, and then they drew the 4-foot in the 10th for that 6-5 win in the final.
Over top of the, yeah.
8.5. Like 8.5.
And we talked about it. Nancy style will give you chances. You just have to execute. And Northern Ontario is starting to do that quite nicely. Might as well try to sit the 3, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Now they went 4 and 4
No, whoa.
in Calgary. McCarville and her first.
Curl.
Okay.
And get 1. That's it. They'll sit right there. So sitting 1 and 2, it appears. That's all at the moment for Northern Ontario.
Problem now, if Nancy tries to rolls to the butt, it'll be very easy to lightweight double for 3. You might be better to nose this.
Yeah, I like just a better throw. Yeah. Straight at me.
Yeah, I don't want to flop too much because
No.
then it's a slash double. Nose.
Again, with you try to roll there and you don't. If it stops here, there's such an easy double. So I think this plays a little better to hit it dead on, and then it'll be a shot probably for 2, not 3. 2's not too bad for Saskatchewan.
I was thinking maybe a roll, but like I don't.
Well, which way? If I roll towards it, then she can slash double and get 3. If I stay there, then she can't.
Okay. Take.
There it is.
Okay.
You can't roll. You just better make it. You better roll like frozen to your own.
Similar.
Similar. Yep. Clean. Clean.
Just clean.
Yep. Yep.
No.
Clean. Whoa.
Clean. Close.
Stewart backing off.
Whoa.
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 And sit right there.
Just closer, I believe. Boy, that was cute.
Yeah, but it's over. This one's second anyways.
Yeah.
That would, it's just a hit and flop. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or else do we ever call this?
Veteran call there. A lot of teams, I think, would have tried to sink one, hit and roll buried.
Especially for the way the game's gone. I almost thought Nancy might be tempted to try the hero shot to get that momentum back, but really patient, smart veteran call.
Okay, 10.5 with that?
I guess if you had to, you could throw like a hack weight intern and play a feather double, but
I think if you told Team McCarville in the first half of this game they'd be tied in the last end, they would have taken it.
One doesn't look as good, but
tie it up, try to force the tricky side for that draw. And
oh boy, yeah, no kidding.
Yep.
What's she saying?
Oh, if she makes the doubles.
Got to be real careful with overthrowing this one too. You know it's a little soggy down here. You throw a little too hard, it runs straight like Nancy's. You only score one.
Just 10.5. No.
Final stone. Looking for a couple to tie it. Going to the 10. Lily. Gotta stick around now. Roll inside. Oh, don't go too far. Don't go too far. Oh, and she'll spill it. They couldn't hold it for her. And one it is only. Wow.
That really hooked on them. That moved unnaturally.
Just that less weight.
Yeah, yes.
So Saskatchewan will lead it. And they'll also have the last rock coming home. Rolling that little bit too far. Yeah, missed opportunity for Northern Ontario on this Friday night. Just one game remains on the ice. Our feature goes to the 10th with this lady down by 1. Northern Ontario trailing Saskatchewan in their openers of this year's Scotties. First stone is that high guard you see just getting over the hog line. Then in went Saskatchewan. And then the second lead stone for Ashley Sipola goes around and just makes the top edge of the 12.
That's problematic for Northern Ontario because now this could be punched out of the rings.
Really big scrub. Look at this go fast. Oh, and they are able to save it and push it by.
Got Deanna. Good sweep.
Great sweep, girls. Jump.
Use the very long guard as protection for this one. Make this one good.
Guard is so high. This doesn't have to be 6 inches outside of the rings either. It can be a couple feet out. Make it something that's easy to come around, rearrange some angles.
Good. Hard.
Just have to get buried here.
Hard. You gotta go. Hard.
Keep going.
Go. Hard. Okay, good sweep, guys.
It's definitely fudging up down that dead center.
Get the tops, okay?
You could take on the double if you wanted to.
If you get the top, that's fine.
It would be a good opportunity for it. There's a stagger, so there's an angle that the shooter will roll off.
Not much danger.
Probably won't have another opportunity at the double.
Exactly.
Yep. Whoa.
Jeez.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
It's getting a little sticky underfoot too. You can see them struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
So just watch this one might run.
Wasn't sure we were going to be here in a 10th when it started off with Saskatchewan scoring 3 in the second, but McCarville has clawed her way back that deuce in 7. But look at the hit number for her, 50%. That cost her in that 9th when she couldn't make the hit and stick and rolled out. And instead of being tied, she's down by 1. Saskatchewan leads it. The game story brought to you by Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995.
Hard. Keep going. You gotta curl it. Go. Hard. Go. Hard. Good. I can't go anymore.
Nice shot. Good sweeping.
Yeah, it's an end-to-end brush. It's this whole end for Northern Ontario.
Get that, it's fine.
Or the top's fine, yeah.
Okay. Same throw.
These scare me because you don't really want to hit the top one. That's the proper miss, mind you. But to hit the back one, you're bringing in missing everything.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Out turns off the line.
Yeah.
Can float a little
Yeah.
any outward motion.
Yeah.
Clean.
Clean. Yep. Yeah.
No.
Oof. Oh, made it look easy. Very nice shot.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, nobody wants to play the other turn.
Exactly.
Oh, here
I
we
think
go.
we're just a little bit. Oh well, I don't know.
You know,
Yeah. Just run this way.
I prefer to see them play the same side. All
Sure.
they're missing is a bit of depth.
Okay.
If that
Yeah,
rock
wha-
goes an extra foot,
Yeah, why not?
it's fully buried.
It's easy to get there with the other turn.
More than what we were throwing.
I
don't know. Like 5
I
feet
think what
more.
spooked the team was
Probably than what I was throwing for that
having
guy.
Ashley Sibyl as second. It slid in. So
Yeah.
everyone thought it was a little bit keener, but in her line, they're just not quite dragging as much.
No.
Easy. You got room. Lots of room.
So you saw there, McCarville started
Go, Ash,
1
go.
and 2 a year ago.
Gotta go. Gotta
Ended
go,
up at
gotta
4
go.
and 4
Really gotta go. Really
in
gotta
the
go to
pool
space
play
now.
and missed
Gotta go.
qualifying.
You got it. Hard, hard. Keep going. Keep going.
And their next game is tomorrow night against Rachel Holman.
We almost like
You like Shay?
same right now, I think, hey?
Make sure one. Got it, Shay. Good judge. Yep. Hard.
Almost as soon as she let it go, Adriana Lott picked her up,
Clean, just clean. Good.
and they'll rip that guard.
Good, Shay.
I think Nancy kind of helped her into hitting those. She said, "You just get one or the other," and that's code for don't be wide.
Assuming you're probably going to call Shay down.
Couple lines go.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Intern.
14 to tee.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
What are you thinking here, Joe? Like 6, 8, 10 feet slower?
They said 14 to tee. Shaylin threw one that was 13-8 with sweeping, so that's minimum if they're trying to tap. Krista did throw in the center line and make kind of an angle freeze.
Yep.
Back 12.
Hard. Whoa.
Back 12.
Yep. Yes. Hard.
Let up just a little bit before jumping back on. Sipala, Lily, oh, maybe just that little hesitation when they jumped off it.
Yeah. But it, you know, again, they guessed wrong. It was
Missing
like
speed.
Halfway down, they were saying back 12. That was not even T line. Yikes. Bit of a tempting to go turn again. Joanna supposed to guessing on that wide side.
Yeah, good point.
Rock first.
Yep.
Get this really thin to miss your own. You'll make the yellow devil.
Yep.
Yep. Really hard. Hard.
One more early pickup here on Stuart Stone.
Whoa.
Watch out. Oh. And she drives it through, leaves the center line guard there. And what does that do with 2 stones to play?
Changes it all for sure. You've got the guard you want, the right depth. The out-turn side's blocked off unless it's raised. And the shot rock's wide open. Can they pick the right speed over here, though?
I know you are.
Yeah, it's heavy in the middle.
It's tricky, probably looking for kind of a back line-ish type weight, but I think that needs to look like board, maybe plus coming down the sheet.
Yeah, you'd almost, if you're sitting in the hacker, you'd want to be heavy, if anything, because nothing's working light.
Down, like it's,
I got a 14.4 on it. Yeah.
You don't need to remove this from play, though. Just need to push it into the 8-foot. Get your shooter rolling behind cover here.
I'm just thinking about how slow it is, that's all.
Okay.
Like, you don't want to be going top 8 here. A little less ice than Kelly had.
Not
Harden.
So here again, have they got the right speed? They've got to get it by that center guard first. Now trying to help it down, get it there, get her by that guard first. Do that, yeah they have. Now where are they going to go? You're going to have enough to pump this back? Are you going to have enough? No, look at that. That just is mud through the center.
That's what I was trying to say before she threw it. You had to be miss heavy in that particular case. We're never trained to do that. You wanted to play the soft one, but the soft shots just aren't there down the center right now.
Yeah, if this doesn't hit the red rock, that rock probably is going to the back foot.
Yeah.
But there's just no life in the house.
Dead.
Just the wrong weight selection.
Wow.
Okay.
2 ends ago, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, straight tap on the nose with some weight, though.
Yep.
Right?
Interesting call here, because by peeling the guard, it gives Krista McCarville a tap to sit 2.
All of a sudden you're looking at the loss.
Yeah,
It's wide open, granted, but
what else would you play?
I almost thought I'd see her throw the guard.
Yeah, yeah.
Just based on how the game has gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all.
Uh-oh.
Got it.
You could do that.
Yeah. So one more chance.
That was plan B, but not.
Timeout's been called.
I'd argue that was better than plan A. Now you're not drawing or hitting against the loss. And Team Northern Ontario has to make a delicate shot in a spot that you can't be delicate.
I think it's almost done, though. Oh, when did they call it? As soon as you played yours. Is that the... It's almost done.
You're invested here tonight. I love it.
It's really smudgy, eh?
Yeah, I gotta throw some weight.
I think like more bumperish, eh?
You want to throw bumper? Yeah.
What would you like,
Make
bumper?
sure- I don't mind it, just because back 12 is tricky.
It's real soft in there. Like you were 13 on that last one.
Yeah, I know.
So I think bumperish would be a better shot. Whatever, comfortable, but you got a bumper.
Sorry, bumper?
Bumper,
Yeah,
just
it's
the
really
weight is
smudgy. That last one of hers came down like crazy.
Yeah, you just got to. Do we have enough room? To roll is all right. I think this is.
You got enough room for that?
To roll with bumper. That one.
yeah,
that
for
one
sure.
With sweeping.
Yeah.
And nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah.
Great awareness there, Joanne, from Rick.
It's so tough, eh, Russ? You think about in a shot like this, you would be thinking, just as Joe said, tap it back, roll underneath, keep the weight down. You heard Kendra go, bumper? Because it's not the kind of weight that you would ever coach a team to throw, but you have to play for the conditions.
Exactly.
The others like kind of came down. Yeah. You see it get fudgy like this too. Sometimes that directional brushing has even more of an effect. So they're concerned with more weight. They may not get that inside roll, but I think they won't have an issue.
Final stone, Northern Ontario. Need to be shot rock.
Just bump. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just bump. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
A lot more weight, obviously. Now you got to help it over. Lily's trying to do that. Got to get it by that one as well. Can you do that? Oh, you've done that so far. Now, can you get underneath? You've done that. Will you settle down? Settle down. And they will. They are the shot rock for the moment.
So that took off too, Vic. You could tell by Andrea Kelly's calling that she was panicking. It wasn't going to curl enough. And all of a sudden it was not only gone, but lost speed again.
Yeah, like I said, that directional brushing, once you start to lose the surface, can really amplify
Softer
its
surface,
effectiveness.
more digging. Yeah. Wow. That was a well-thrown rock.
I knew it was going to curl. It was just so smudgy, just this smudging.
Okay, Nance, to the stick.
Yeah.
You got her.
You know it.
To the stick for the win. Leading by 1, Saskatchewan.
You got her, Nance.
And Nancy Martin.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Stewart staying with it. Oh, now. How close are they going to be here? Oh, that close for 3. Nancy Martin in her debut comes through with 3. Make the final. Saskatchewan wins it 10-6. Wow.
Yeah, that was close too.
You bet. In her debut, picks up a win.
The 2025 Scotties Tournament of Hearts is presented by Kruger Products, the softest and strongest supporters for over 40 years. By Montana's Barbecue and Bar, proudly Canada's home for barbecue since 1995. By BKT Tires, growing together. And by Home Hardware, here's how.
Well, I'm sure she'll remember this as for the first time ever she skips Saskatchewan at a Scotties, and Nancy Martin picks up the win, and Rachel Holman celebrates a win. The defending champion was a winner over Prince Edward Island. So we have 2 draws tomorrow. We'll early draw at 2 p.m. Eastern. This will be our featured game. We'll get a look at Daniel Inglis against Christina Black, Ontario against Nova Scotia. That's in the Pool B. And then tomorrow night, Krista McCarville against Rachel Holman. Wow, that's how tough these pools are. If you drop early, it means you have to win later. So that's a key game for Krista McCarville as she goes against Rachel Holman, who last year went undefeated, remember, at both the Scotties and the Worlds. What a night to start off here in Thunder Bay on Valentine's Day. Saskatchewan showing no love for Northern Ontario. Till we talk with you again, thank you for joining us here on Canada's Sports Leader, TSN.